Oh, don't call me. Come back. They've been here the whole time.
You're not allowed to yawn. You know that.
Who? I'm allowed to do whatever I want. You don't make the
No.
rules.
I do.
You're not his dad,
Nope.
unless you
Sure
are.
don't.
In which case, you got a lot of Christmas.
You're an hour late. You make no rules, sir.
Ooh, and he's still not ready.
You said past.
Okay, so you're a half an hour late. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was here, but the other laptop decided to die.
Here and
Even though
not
it's
being
set up.
prepared is not being here.
Oh, got him with the military rules. Let's go.
You're always late.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're always late. Always.
Thanks for that.
Especially when there's badgers involved.
We're not discussing that.
Oh, she heard me. Oh, she can hear us now. Okay.
Yeah, we've got headsets on. It's fine.
It doesn't work. It doesn't come up. That.
Oh, no. Just leave it. It's having a bad day. It'll suddenly pop up and all the things will open that I clicked on it.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
So you guys excited?
I'm always excited.
Why are you building this up?
I'm
Sure.
so
Yes,
excited.
maybe. Why not?
And I just can't
Yeah, why not?
hide it. It's a Christmas special. Come on.
Because it wasn't successful with you.
We're
It
all
was
special,
successful
that's for
last year.
sure.
Everybody
No,
loved it last year.
No, the questions weren't successful with you. The questions didn't work with you.
Oh, no, but that was just the test run.
Because he can't be fixed. He can't be helped. It's okay.
No, he can't play games. That's the problem. He can't play games.
Well, I can, obviously, because I'm on a
No.
gaming podcast.
No, but I mean, like
Yeah, I'm
games,
not sure you
like
can
question
play them, though.
games.
Just because you can do a podcast doesn't mean you can play a game.
Thank you. Doesn't mean you can play a game.
It means you're good at talking, you have a sexy voice, and women are fooled into thinking that you look good.
Thanks for that.
What?
No,
Every woman that hears a British voice automatically assumes you look good. That's an unfair assumption. British and Australians assume to look good just because of the way you sound. And I think that's a way to start, first of all, right? That's just my 2 cents.
That's not going to be your only 2 cents, though.
No, definitely not.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Responds in Real Life!
Well, I hope they're better at question games than you are.
I think they are.
Well, no one can be worse than you, can they?
By default, we're going to be amazing.
I want to know what happened before the show.
He said, can you come and ask some questions on the show? And I said, what questions? He said, I've got a list. And I said, no, because you're really bad at answering questions. He's like, no, I'm not. I was like, okay, give me the list.
You are kind of uniquely terrible at answering questions.
He is, isn't he?
That is true.
You are.
We love you, but you are
can't
sort of
answer a
terrible at
question.
answering questions.
You can't answer a question to save your life. It take forever. So, like, the first question I picked up was this, right? Have you ever picked up a monkey? Now, that's quite straightforward. In your life,
Quick yes or no. Quick yes or no.
Exactly.
There are only two options.
You don't forget picking up a monkey, do you? You don't turn around and go, I'm not sure.
If the monkey gave you amnesia.
Mike is not sure.
Oh,
depending what drugs you're on at the time. I mean, if there's any explanation needed, the answer is yes. Like if you have to stop and think for any amount of time about that question, the answer is obviously yes.
Yeah, and I've held a monkey. Boom, done. Move on.
I know people that have messed with monkeys and they don't remember any of that mess.
See?
Are we talking about monkeys or body parts?
See, I was going to say, this is getting incredibly racist real fast. We should move on.
No. I'm talking about, have you heard the monkey massacres where like people had pet monkeys and then like suddenly the monkey went off and then
absolutely.
Definitely didn't have a pet monkey.
Monkeys are strong.
So if this guy is, severely debilitated and messed up in the face,
well, I've come to the conclusion they're as bad answering the questions as you are, and this is going to go downhill very rapidly.
Oh, it's already gone downhill. Let's push this cart down the rest of the hill.
I mean, it's the fastest way to go.
That's right, man.
So yeah, welcome to the Christmas show, everyone.
Huzzah!
God help you all.
In thinking that you were going to be listening to Destiny stuff. You'd
Wrong.
You'd be half right and half wrong.
Nope. There will be zero Destiny content.
No.
None.
The last
Zero.
hour, we've had a lot of Destiny content, actually.
No, but you didn't record it though, did you?
Not on the show. That's
live.
far. That's all.
So
that's all gone.
That's a recording.
That's all in the wind.
No, but what I can assure you is there will be next week in Destiny, and
Probably.
Arf and I have recorded some lore.
Why wait till
yourself.
next week?
So there is some Destiny stuff here. You just got to sift through the rest of it.
Good luck. You're gonna need
Yeah,
it.
it's Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put timestamps in. That'll help.
No one's gonna listen to you
Hey,
either.
somebody
They're all like
requested that.
Christmas
Look
going.
at that. Somebody's Christmas present's already coming
But
in early.
what we do have for you today
Oh God.
It's
is
a lot
we
of
have Micah.
gibberish.
Micah's returned to answer some questions along with Respawn, Peroty,
Yo.
and myself. And we have a very special guest being our compère for the evening.
Presenter, guest presenter.
Yeah,
Mm.
Deacon.
Did Micah
Deacon has
actually
returned.
willingly return, or did he just pop in at random, seeing the
think
two
he
of
popped
us?
in
and
at
going-
random,
told to
and
pop
we
in at
we
random.
corralled
I
him.
you were
Okay,
not told.
okay.
I said I have to go do a show. You're welcome to join if you want to. Do not let him. Do not let him come at you with this
Told to pop
nonsense.
in at random.
Well, there we go.
Saying you are welcome to is not the same thing as saying that you have to.
I didn't say I didn't say you told me I had to. I was saying I was just told to pop in at random. Like, hey, Mike, just come in. Just whenever you want to. It's cool. It's like, yeah, just come on in.
That's
That's
right.
called
If you hear
coming in at
bells
random.
throughout the whole thing, that's my fault because I'm wearing jingly bell slippers.
Hasn't he for the last few
No,
weeks?
it's perfect.
Why are you wearing jingle
Good
bells?
question.
Because my old slippers fell apart, and these ones were hidden underneath the bed from last year, and I didn't want to wear them again throughout the whole year because they jingle all the time. But then I've kind of had to wear them now.
What's jingling?
My
You know what?
slippers.
Let's not talk about old people fetishes. That's just weird.
Hey, we're not here to kink shame.
I didn't say king shaming. I said I just don't want to talk about old people fetishes.
Hey, he can jingle his slippers
sounds like
all
a
he
kink-
likes.
yeah.
Okay. Do they come in pairs?
How he jingles is none of your
He
concern.
doesn't hop all day.
I could do.
Good.
No, that'd be even more annoying than the fucking jingles.
Um,
Can you stop the jingles?
Jingle slippers.
So what
jingle
is the first question? Because Parody's only got 50 minutes left, so we got to get into this.
Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Oh, let me cast my eye down this huge list of 450 questions.
We're gonna do the speed run style. Gator's got nothing on us.
Just
be
go to the
amazing.
top. So you've got Micah, me, Respawn, and Peroty.
Uh-huh.
That I don't do names, I don't remember names. But I have Mr. M and Mr. R and Mr. P. And I won't
That's
tell
okay,
them.
Wanda. We don't remember names either. It's fine.
No, I don't even know who you are. I thought you were one of his kids, honestly.
Yep. Come on,
Okay.
Sandy. Let's go.
You said that last time. You kept telling me to call him Daddy. It's just
See,
not right.
that was a completely different reason, though.
That's the OnlyFans content. It's different.
Only feet content. Sorry, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Only feet. All
So,
feet. all the time.
Mr. M is first.
Micah's first, yeah.
Micah,
Amazing
wait,
feats,
say your
incredible
name to me. It won't,
feats.
you keep saying
Token
name.
black guy's got to go first,
Okay.
man.
What has been the highlight of your past week? What's been the highlight of your past week?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's not your
Micah.
question, though.
I know.
Not for you.
What's been the highlight of what?
This week for you.
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say it.
Wait,
Say it.
are we Destiny related?
No,
or-
whatever you want.
No,
Whatever you want.
this is Destiny
okay.
unrelated.
So my newborn baby, I got one of those little swaddle things that I could, wrap her around me and tie her up next to my chest, so I could just hold her
Love
and play
baby.
Destiny at the same time. So I was doing that, and then she started whining and crying and whatnot, and I was like, "Oh, what's wrong, baby?" And so she had this little tore up face, and she was half asleep. So I kissed her on the forehead, and then she looked up to me and made this little grunting face, and then suddenly her face just like kind of relaxed and just kind of went to a smile. I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And I got this
Dad
little
moment.
warm feeling all on my belly, and I was just like, "Oh, this must be love." And then that feeling of love slowly started to trickle down my leg, and then onto my seat and onto my floor, and I realized my baby had pissed on me.
Out of love.
Okay.
But he just had a baby this week. Is the high point of that story?
Yeah. So not being peed on this week, that wasn't the high point.
No, I mean, having the baby pee on him is the high point.
That's what I took away from the story. I mean, maybe I missed the point.
What I learned is, like, honestly, when you really love someone, them pissing on you is not the worst thing. Just like, you know what? I just sat there and I was like, you know what? This just happened, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. There's no point in rushing and trying to go. Like, it's already there. It's already done.
No, my thing is, if my kids ever did that to me again, I would lose composure. I can't handle that.
Grown and talking. I mean,
okay, that's fair, but even when they were babies, you know, you just changed the little girl's diaper and you said she and pissed on you, and you were okay with it. Nah, that kid would be up for adoption so fast.
She's only 2 weeks old. I mean, that's all she can do.
Baby doesn't know any better.
She can't even hold my gaze because she can't control her neck. So I mean, it's fine.
Can she even open her eyes properly?
Oh yeah, she can open her eyes.
Can she focus?
Now, if I do certain things, her eyes will completely cross and then just go really crazy, and I'll be like, I can't do that too much because she might be messed up the rest of her life. And her mom will never ever forgive me.
I'm not asking you an easy question. It's not even your turn anyway.
It is on next. Look.
So actually, Deacon, can I ask you a question before we go on?
If I love someone, would I piss on them? Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
that was
wow.
the question.
Whoa. This did get dark real fast. No, I was going to ask.
Oh, yeah. So Micah, when Deacon's on the show, it immediately gets like at least a quadruple X rating just from the get go. And you never know what's going to happen. Also, Respawn and Deacon are the same person.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not mad. The thing is, like, whenever I say something crazy, y'all like, oh, we got to censor that. Beep. So I'm like, wow, okay, she just gets free pass. Yeah, cool.
Well, no, this is going to be heavily censored before it comes out.
Oh, yeah, it gets heavily censored.
So when this episode is only 40 minutes of lore, you'll know why. Just saying.
Nothing else. Just a lot of ducks and farm animals for the rest of the show.
No, I'm sure we could be sensible with our answers.
You're not a real podcast until you have a missing episode. So, I mean, I think we're overdue.
We had a missing
your
episode.
Question.
Go on then. Ooh.
No, because I know your response already. It's going to be a
well, they don't know my response.
I'm going to make
don't deprive us of the fun. Come on now.
I'm going to put a clause on yours, right? You cannot choose an actor or actress. Okay. Because I know who you'll go for, right? If you could trade places with anyone for a week, who would it be?
Neve Campbell.
My son.
You didn't go there already. That's too early.
I remembered. Yes. So Deacon hates Neve Campbell, so that's fun.
I forgot about that entirely.
She's just a complete.
I don't even know who that is.
I just can't choose.
You can't choose an actor or actress.
Neve Campbell's a super duper sexy actress that was popular in the 80s and 90s.
Ugh.
She started all the Scream movies.
She wasn't popular. She had one viewer, and that was Ian.
Incredibly sexy. Like, just, oh my God. She was like most beautiful woman of the year a couple times.
Oh, shut up.
In what world are you living in?
You're such a...
I mean...
He really is.
Oh my God!
Okay, if
this is why I didn't want to play this game with you.
See, this is why we told you you're bad at this.
No, but she put caveats.
Because you would just go someone famous.
Well, why can't I be somebody famous?
Oh, come on then, do me.
Come on, let's go.
It's fine. I'll trade places with Respawn.
Why?
So I can go to Disneyland.
You're such a child.
That's not a bad answer, actually. That's not a bad answer.
No, I couldn't trade places with anyone. You said I couldn't trade places with famous people. So I went with Respawn because he lives near Disneyland.
You could have been someone really powerful, made some really world changes, and you choose to go to Disneyland.
Disney.
Yep.
You should never find a genie's lamp because you would just squander all the wishes.
Give him a monkey's paw. I want to see how that plays out.
Who's next? Mr. R. If you could be any type of dog, what breed would you be and why?
Who is this for?
You.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Ooh. I probably want to be like a lap dog because they get to live inside, do whatever the hell they want to, and they never get punished for it. So the breed. Probably a mini Australian Shepherd.
Nice. And you would be that because you could sit on someone's lap all day?
Well, not just that, but like the mini dogs, whenever they get aggressive, people call it cute.
Yeah.
You know, I can do whatever the hell I want to and get away with it because I'm just a small dog that nobody pays attention to. You know, and then being a mini Australian Shepherd, obviously I'm gorgeous. So.
Okay.
We're
Mr.
not beyond
P.
these things.
Mr. P.
Mr. P. What fictional character do you most relate to?
The BFG, the big friendly giant from the Roald Dahl book.
Good answer.
Why? Can you elaborate on that?
Because I'm a large, angry man, but look friendly on the outside.
He's very tall.
And you like sucking people's dreams away.
Whoa!
Exactly. I like
dreams.
From
she said dreams. I thought she said jeans.
I enjoy capturing people's dreams. In my cave.
Yeah, you pick up on that, huh, Michael?
Yeah, I have a whole cave full of dreams. Good times.
Nice. Because he's quite nice at the end, though, isn't he? He's quite a nice, gentle character.
He's quite nice in public.
Peroty or the BFG?
Yes.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
You'll never know.
Don't limit me to a world of ore. I don't play by your rules.
Micah, we're back to Micah.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, respawn.
Harsh but fair.
Oh, wow. I'm getting it from all sides, I feel.
Oh, Nitedemon.
I don't know.
You're here for the gangbang. It's fine.
That's got caveats to it.
No, don't be like that.
It can't be Nev Campbell, but any other answer is fine.
Yeah, there's others. He just doesn't tell me anymore. He can't bear it.
Because he saw what happened with the Nev Campbell thing,
you know,
obviously.
Like you're sitting there watching a program. If you even mention that you like the look of somebody, they're like, "That's it. You can't watch that for the rest of your life."
Oh.
Yeah.
So you and your wife don't sit and compare attractive people and go, "Yeah, they're attractive." I agree.
Attractive
That's what we do.
Men.
We do too.
That's all I'm allowed.
Women, hey, anything's fair game.
I'm not allowed to not allowed to mention women. Men.
Oh, come on now. It's not even fun.
Do I think he's attractive? Oh yes, I like him. Yeah.
Never asked you if you found another man attractive.
You asked me.
Why are you going down this
Derek
route?
from Teen Wolf.
If you can't sit with your spouse and watch things and find all the people attractive or not, what are you doing with your lives? I don't think you're living life right.
Well, somebody's insecure, that's for sure.
Well, then. See?
Come on then, ask
Didn't
Or just sensitive.
not doing that, did you?
That too.
I'm trying to find one for you because I want one.
You just want a difficult one.
No, I want one that I know you're going to have to think about.
No.
That's all of them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but I was definitely thinking it.
We love you, but that's the correct answer. It's all of them.
When we're back alone, we are having conversations.
Who is that director?
Why
is that me or is that her?
Yeah.
Are we quarreling? Are you quarreling? Who's quarreling with who? Because I'm in the mood to quarrel. Let's go.
You two.
He wouldn't quarrel with me.
Sounds
First
phenomenal.
of all, you did this to yourself, right? We didn't invite her.
To a war with them all.
And you know how she and I react, and you know how Peroty is just an enabler. This is your fault.
Yes, he gaslights us. To be fair, he gaslights both of us. It's his fault.
Whether you want it or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars. So let's take time getting out their command, one by one.
Right. If you had a warning label, what would it say? Oh, for God's sake, he's doing the face. He's staring off into the distance.
Caution, hoarder. Caution, hoarder.
3 hour.
Yeah, I agree with that. Caution, hoarder. You agree with that? Come on, look at the
I'd go with addiction before hoarder. Caution. This person
Same
is
thing.
prone to addiction.
Same idea.
Hoarder and I'm addicted to stuff.
Okay. Mr. M, which of your 5 senses would you say is the strongest?
Mr. M?
Mr. M.
Respawn.
Oh God! What's
Mo respawn to real life? That's your new name now.
Of your 5 senses, would you say is the strongest?
Definitely my smell.
Ooh.
Unfortunately,
he has a very strong scent.
No, I can smell things. Like I can smell when my kid's got his diaper rooms away, and I'm like, Luna, change his diaper, and she's all like, he's not stinky. I'm like, I bet you any amount of money he's got pants.
You are terrible to Luna.
No, actually, no. Luna's been sick today because Elijah headbutted her in the face and gave her 2 black eyes. So I've been taking care of the baby last night and today, sir.
The little award and trophy will be on its way. Well done, you.
Yes, thank you.
That's all right. It wasn't meant sincerely. It's meant sarcastically. Never mind.
I still take it.
He takes any reward.
Oh, wait, which way?
Whatever way you want to give it to me. But if it's got spikes, at least grind them down a bit. Have some mercy.
I'm not sure where this is going.
Part of the experience, buddy.
Okay.
No, I'm not about that.
Yeah, I was reading about that actually. I was reading about men's pea spots. I found that out last week.
What?
Men's
pea
spots.
I found it on the internet, so it's got to be true. Your
On
prostate spot.
Or
Apparently, it's better than an orgasm. Pea spot. It's a new thing.
Oh,
Go in the podcast.
Well, it just reminded me because he said he'll have it anyway, and I thought, I learned something new last week. Men have
Yeah,
a
but
pea
they
spot.
don't need to know this.
Well, they're men. They might want to investigate it. I haven't got it.
This
So
is
they
new
might want
knowledge.
to have a play around and find it. Knowledge is power.
You knew what you did the moment you invited me here. You knew exactly what was going to happen.
No, I did.
I know, and because you read about it, you know there's going to be an accident. There's going to be an accident. One of these, she's going to be like, "Whoops! I didn't mean to do."
You should have known what was going to happen.
He's got his eyes closed. I think he's having some sort of breakdown.
Well, let him fantasize.
We've broken him in under half an hour. I think that's a new record.
That is definitely a new record.
No, I'm not broken. Leave me be.
Who is it now then? Peroty.
Peroty.
Right. Do you have a family motto?
Yeah, I could eat.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's more of a need than a motto.
No, I've said many times, if I had a family crest, it would say across it, I could eat.
I guess mine would be, and I'm just saying this because it's. I got my kid doing it now, so it might be a thing. Is why not? Because I hate when people say why. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what's
Is it going to kill somebody? No. Is it going to put you in jail? No. Then why the not? Give it a shot.
What's interesting though? She didn't ask you.
No, that's true.
And he managed to work out a word that's going to have to be centered into like the 8 words he said, which is also a respawn specialty.
I didn't say that time. Don't look at me with those judgment eyes. I didn't say anything.
No, those judgment eyes are for respawn. They're reserved for respawn.
I'm sorry.
All the time. This show would be 45 minutes shorter and 92% quicker to edit without respawn's inability.
That is not true. There have been shows I haven't been in that have been just as long.
There are not shows you haven't been in. There might be one. You managed to find a way from an airport, from I-95 to smashing into other vans. Nature finds a way, much like a respawn.
Look, man, I'm dedicated to the show, man.
M. Mr. M.
Yeah,
see?
You don't care for their Micah?
Is it respawn again?
From probes to G spots.
What? No, it's a P spot, not a G spot. It's a P spot. Just
Wait, is it actually called a P spot? Why P?
It's actually called a P spot. Prostate.
Oh.
Yes. You can Google that and everything.
That's the G spot, isn't it?
No, apparently
it's a P spot. Like
totally separate spot.
Totally separate spot they found.
I thought that was the male G spot, though.
And it's supposed to be the better than the.
Well, if P stands for prostate, what does G stand for?
Well,
Gugina?
Ask your wife.
Good God.
Good God, I guess so, yeah.
Interesting.
I can't drink now. What was
oh my God, is she drinking while doing this?
No, just Pepsi Max.
Oh.
And if so, why am I not?
Right?
I have got a nice big bottle of Decerona, but I haven't opened that yet. What do you think is the most essential life skill?
Micah?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Come on, keep up.
I'm trying. The accent gets me every time. Using your mouth.
That's all you're getting.
Most essential life skill.
Yep. Let's move on.
No, it works like speech, food,
breathing,
service, breathing.
That's enough.
Most essential life skill. Can you think of one better?
Locating that G spot.
No,
can't do it with that.
It's been located.
No, I'm talking about the female one, young lady.
Hey, good luck reaching it with that.
I mean, have you seen Gene Simmons?
Oh God, yes. The size of that is just ridiculous, isn't it?
See, Respawn knows what he's saying.
But it's the
Talking
width
about
as
cow
well.
tongues here.
It's really wide.
See, children are going to start Googling these names, and we're going to be just like,
So you'll be like, God, you're old.
Correct.
And Nitedemon like, nope, we're ending that.
Thanks for the show, guys. This has been
40 minutes. Enjoy your lore, everyone.
So this is the lore from last season.
Season, it's called the book is called Above All Else. It's about Aramis and the basically it sounds like it's from the journey to where they are now.
Okay, so this is what happened with Mithras,
the whirlwind, and what happened after that.
Okay, so it's like a little bit of a backstory.
Yes, that's a very good way of describing it. Thank you for the help. I'm out of practice.
I'm here for.
Chapter 1, The Long Drift.
My family named me Ithwix, Sturdy Heart, and held me aloft in the shadow of the great machine. My birth name was chosen to exalt my strength as a hatchling. My chosen name would be Aspirational. On my third molting, I chose the name Einax, Gentle Hands. I would be the greatest weaver our house had ever known. I was so sure of it. Then our world ended. Then I was sure of nothing. The end of our civilization came from the outside in, like a hand slowly closing around a throat. At first it didn't feel real. Reese was gone, and my house was trapped aboard a ketch, knowing that there was nothing at our backs. For so long, we broadcast distress calls into the dark, hoping for others on the long drift to find us and offer succor. Help never came. Every satellite world we visited, the story was the same. Desolation, death, despair. Weeks of searching turned into years, and I feared we were the only ship that slipped between those proverbial fingers of destruction. Were we the last? We had to continue hoping it wasn't so. As we drifted among the stars, we inevitably lost members of our house along the way. I wove the finest memorial shrouds for our dead, so that they could rest in security and peace. Then, as the egg cloth ran out, we could not give them the dignity of binding. My gentle hands were eventually used to separate dead meat from carcass. We would not starve in the dark. My son was brought into a world of isolation, abandonment, and suffering. I should have crushed his egg and woven it into cloth. A regret I will always carry. My sentimentality for the old world won out, and bitter hope for the future slayed my hand. I named him after my father. I did not know if we would carry on our house's traditions of birth names and chosen names. What purpose did it serve now? What did it matter? My son's father died weeks after the birth. He was not missed. It was better that way. His death was something I did not regret. It would be years before we encountered another catch. It bore the sigil of the House of Dancers, renowned for their skills with machines and their generosity to those in need. Their Kel agreed to send an emissary to discuss our needs. I knew this emissary, Aramis, when we were children. All I knew of her in adulthood was that she had a wife and hatchlings. I had hoped the whirlwind had taken it from her. I hated myself for wanting that. Aramis was no longer the meek child I once knew. That much was certain when I greeted her aboard my ketch. She brought 2 hatchlings with her, just barely old enough to walk on their own. They were mischievous little things, the round one constantly trying to tug the taller one's arms off until Aramis disciplined them. I carried my son swaddled to my chest as a show of trust. Negotiations between us were tense. I quickly realized that the House of Dancers had no interest in sharing their resources, but rather in assessing our own vulnerabilities. When it was clear to Aramis that we could not be easily disabled and stripped of our ether, we found a compromise. House of Dancers would be supplied with materials for repairs, and in turn, we would take on some of their people, along with a fractional store of ether. She was sending them to die with us, rather than condemn them to the cold and uncaring depths of space where her people could see. I learned who Aramis had become, and what ideas she lived by. 2 hands in greeting, 2 hands concealed. It was an equitable deal, and Aramis knew it. Your alternative is death, she offered me. A coward's voice slipped out of my mouth when I declined that choice. I asked her where her wife was, hoping I was inspired her to feel for a moment as hopeless as I did. She did not much as flinch, then foisted the 2 hatchlings onto me. They were not hers, as I had assumed, but the first of the House of Dancers that we would take in exchange. Too many hands and not enough ether to go around. The simplest solution was also the most difficult one. We had to find a way to thin our numbers again.
So, Rakis is Spider, and Civics is just Civics.
Yes.
So, Mithrax, was he called Mithrax at the time, or was he called something else?
I believe he was called Mithrax.
Okay, so those are the 3 babies?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Hatchlings.
I'm so confused right now.
Yes. It's because they come from eggs.
Yeah.
It shows actually how brutal it was after their world was destroyed.
And that's something new for last season, wasn't it? This revelation that these 2 were kind of, well, we don't know if they are brothers, but potentially they could be
They
brothers.
called them broodmates. So with the Elixni laying eggs. Now, I presume this is all presumption that they maybe lay more than 1 egg.
Yeah.
So if they lay 1 or 2 eggs, there's potential for all the legs. There's potential for all the eggs to be brought together in 1 brood. So they all hatch together. All the eggs laid on a certain time come together in like a nest, a nursery, a hatchery, whatever you want to call it. So they all come out together. So potentially at this time they weren't worrying about who's related to who, but you're of 1 house.
Yeah.
And you'll just be called a broodmate.
Oh, fair enough. So
all that hatched at that time would be broodmates. Now this is a fairly big presumption here, but it's with what they were going through at that time, it would make sense. We already know Aramis and Inax, who is Mithrax's mother, or they called her mother, was around before the whirlwind as well.
Okay, so would they have been light bearers?
I don't know if you can actually call them light bearers. They were chosen by the light.
Okay.
And the light brought them into their golden age. What was the gauntlet? What were they called? I'm trying to think what their special people were called that got us into the other realm with the gauntlet. Splicers. That was almost like their special ability.
Okay.
Because it seems that every species that's chosen by the light manifests that light in a different way.
So for the Elixni, it would have been splicers. So it's quite weird that Mithrax can still do splicing now. So does Mithrax have a connection to the light now that I've missed, or
I believe the whole species as a whole has a connection to the light, as we see with the Lucent Hive.
Okay.
Now, they were chosen by the light, but they never actually got to manifest their abilities. The way their light. They never got to show the way the light would manifest with them until now. But what they had there, yes, they've got Lucent Hive now, but that was an existing process that was already there, as the ghosts either chose human or chose hive.
Yeah, I mean that's quite interesting, isn't it? I mean, like you're saying, the Elixni have something completely different with splicing, but the hive have taken on kind of a mirror image of the Guardians, where they require a ghost to res them, like we do, using the light. So they'll have abilities with Void, Solar, and Arc.
Well, the ghosts were created by the Traveler.
Weren't they created specifically for the human race, or the humans, Awoken, and Exos?
Well, were they? Because the Hive were on Earth at this time, or around in the system at the time of the collapse. So there's a potential that they were actually made for both of us.
Okay. We need answers, don't we? We need answers from the Big Bully. The Big Bully needs to start speaking. We've heard from the witness. We now need to hear from the witness's best bud in the ball.
We need the Cabal to make us a giant cricket bat, and we can have a go at the Traveller.
No, what we need, I mean, I think you're on the right path. Maybe we do need the Cabal to use their technology to actually do something to... I mean, they were the ones that managed to suppress the light with their technology.
The Starfish of Death, yeah.
Yeah, and then actually harness that in weapons now. So maybe there is a way of kind of opening up the Traveller to find out what's going on.
Possibly. Well, there is one Guardian that claims to have been in the Traveller.
Ooh, who's that?
That was Tess Eververse's uncle. I can't remember his name. Fenchurch.
Fenchurch, that's it. She keeps going on about Fenchurch. So Fenchurch reckons he's been inside the ball.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to pin him down because he's out there somewhere.
Yes.
So the Cabal, as it stands at the moment, don't have any claim to the light, but they do want the light, or they did want the light. Ghoul wanted the light. And
yes,
was he was able to wield it in a way, or it was able to kind of take it in some way, but then a bit like Eramis was kind of, whereas Eramis was consumed by the darkness, he was consumed by the light.
The light was too much for him, basically.
Yeah, a bit like the darkness was with Eramis when she kind of just froze herself.
Yeah, which proves you have to be chosen to have certain abilities or aspects about your personality that can actually handle the power.
Okay. So I've got a question about Strand. So we know that Strand is going to be the next subclass that we're going to be wielding in Nightfall. But I think everybody's hinting that it is a darkness subclass. What's your take on that? Is it a darkness subclass, or is it something in between the light and the dark?
From what they said in, was it a showcase that they did just as they revealed the trailer for it?
Yes, I think when they did the opening cinematic, wasn't it?
They said, well, I can't remember exactly how it was worded. Basically, it's almost like a building block of the universe, Strand. So it could have been almost like a grey ability. So it's not light, it's not dark, it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, it's interesting that Strand is kind of a grey area of a subclass. Is Stasis a definite dark subclass then?
That was given to the I'll call them Fallen because they were at that time. They weren't Elixni.
Yeah.
So I will call them Fallen for that now. But that was given to them by I can't remember his name. Big Head. Not Big Head with lots of heads coming out of it.
Yeah, the Witness.
Not the Witness. I was going to say Disciple there.
Yes, given to him by the Witness.
So I would go with that's a darkness thing because it was given to them by an agent of the darkness.
I'm just wondering how Strand fits in with, if they do place it in with a darkness subclass, if it is actually a darkness subclass. And then if that's two darkness subclasses, do we get a third darkness subclass in What's it? The one
Well,
after that?
Destiny
Final Shape.
tends to work in threes.
No trico.
Well, yeah, you've got the tricorn.
Yeah. You got your 3 classes. Yeah, 3
Yeah.
character models: Exo, Awoken, and Human.
Yes. Right. Shall we do chapter 2 anyway?
What's this one called? This one is called
The Whispering Dark.
Okay.
We had sailed the long drift for centuries, but I had yet to come to terms with our new reality. My son had only bore witness to a fraction of it. He was still young, still struggling to understand his place in the world. The 2 children from the House of Dancers, Rakis and Civics, were slightly older and had become his reluctant friends. They protected him from the adolescents who would steal his ether when I wasn't looking. It was not a family to me. Not truly. I had yet to understand that catch is kin. Once we found the great machine, we learned that it had uplifted a whole new species, granted them powers beyond anything it had ever bestowed to us. That betrayal drove some in our house to despair, others to death, and many to violence. Adapting to this betrayal was to be our next challenge. I listened to the poison-minded advice of soft-shelled cowards and tried to speak with the great machine's new chosen, our usurpers. They repaid the machine's kindness with violence, killed 3 of my closest friends. I later discovered that they had suckered their carapaces and wore their chitin as armor. We learned all we could about these usurpers, like how their limbs were supple and could be pulled from their bodies far easier than our own kind. I came to love the sound of their screams. If violence was the only language they spoke, so be it. Time had made me fluent. Some of my house refused to abandon the old ways. The fools draped themselves in the naive remnant of splicers, praying to a god that doomed us all. They could contemplate their failure with what was left of their lives in the cold dark. I had no time for them, save for goading them into raids. If we wanted to retake the great machine, we would not be doing it by prostrating ourselves like weeping children. We would take it back by force. We killed the machine's chosen, taking what we could, rooting through the rotten innards of their dying world. We took refuge in the shadows of their dusty moon, where the usurpers' ruins stuck out like bones from the dust. It was empty, it was silent, but there was value to be had in picking old bones clean. On one such expedition, I had strapped my son to me and set out to pick over a bounty of bones. But it was not the spools of spin cable, the plates of hard sheet, or the fragments of clear cut that proved most valuable. It was what we found buried beneath the bones, what was buried deep. We traversed that day into dark tunnels, where something hideous festered beneath this moon's surface. Horrific creatures that stank of wet soil, shrieked like dying animals, and tore at flesh. They possessed a ferocity that we had never seen before, and my raiding party was being whittled down one by one. But when it seemed like these creatures were to finish the rest of us off, they relented. They appeared to hear something that terrified them, something that left us to wonder, what are monsters afraid of? The creatures scurried back into their warrens and vanished into subterranean temples they spilled out of. And for a moment, I thought I heard something too. Something soft, a whisper. But as forceful as a scream. That was when I saw it, situated in a rift beyond the temple. The true treasure of this dusty tomb, a pyramid of jet black, opening its doors for us.
Now, we all know what that is, because we've been there too. It sucked us in.
Yeah, it's a pyramid. It's a black pyramid. So this is telling the journey of the
Inax.
Inax with...
It's Inax's clan. So it looks like her actual son is Mithrax.
Yes.
And she's 2 adopted children, Rakis and Civix.
Yep, that makes sense. And Civix is the one that we killed in the Black Armory.
Yes.
If you were hunting for, I think that was the Ghost and the Emblem. I vaguely remember that was one of the hardest missions ever to do.
Well, that actually got unlocked that mission got unlocked by Destiny. That nobody actually completed that originally.
Originally, yes, but I am one of the lucky few that still were able to complete it and get the emblem, and I've got the matching ghost shell, the ship, and the sparrow.
But didn't Bungie actually release the code to actually do all the how to solve the puzzles in that?
They had to, yes, yeah. They had to guide people. I think
they
Datto
made it too hard.
Forever. Yeah, Datto spent forever, and then they realised they were missing out on a code. Yeah, that was that one.
Yes.
So Rakis, we definitely know Spider.
Yeah,
he's still around. I wonder what made him go into being like the dodgy dealer. I'm going to kind of be on the sidelines and work with everybody, whereas Civix went to I'm going to destroy everything, take over the Black Armory and things like that. You got to wonder.
I'm wondering how he lost his legs.
Maybe Civix took them.
Possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
But this is their general story. We even see there that Inax tried to negotiate with humanity.
Would have been around the time of the Warlords, I'm guessing.
I'm guessing that as well.
They weren't very.
It's either around the time of the Warlords or just after the collapse.
But they had the light.
Yes.
See, that's what I find is quite strange, that the humanity was still quite primitive when they had the light, and they were like we've had with warlords and things, and it took millennia for them to actually become kind and civil and actually build like cities and work with other races.
Well, it wasn't actually millennia. That it was within the first easily 10 to 20 years, I'd say, possibly as a timeline, for them to actually become the rise of the warlords and then the founding of the city.
You can wonder why the Traveller chose them, being as such warlords that they were, or using the light as like this weapon to become warlords.
Well, with the Traveller being damaged in the way it was, I think it had to do something and create something to protect it.
Yeah, fair enough. Which is why I think the Elixni were saying that it gave them a greater power more than that it had previously.
Yes, because it needed to cover itself while it healed.
Yeah. And the other thing is that this whirlwind that drove them from their homeworld, is that been confirmed that was the darkness coming? Because it sounds very much like what happened with the Fundament.
Let's do a quick search for Chelchis or Chelkis. He was the Kell of the House of Stone.
Okay.
Chelchis, Kell of Stone, was the Kell of the fallen House of Stone, who once stood before the Moor. According to the fallen legend, Chelchis and the House of Stone held off the Hive in order for the other houses to escape Reese. The fallen still revere Chelchis in their songs. From an artifact and its descriptions, it can be assumed that Chelchis was killed by Oryx, the Taken King himself. Yes, because in the legend of the fall of Chelchis, he was taken.
Okay.
Which we know who the Taken King was.
Yes.
And from what we can tell, the Elixni were the last race that was visited by the Traveller before us.
Okay, so yeah, it makes sense that Oryx then followed suit and carried on, was trying to claim us as well, I guess.
Yes. Well, Oryx would have been instructed by the witness to go and, right, there's the traveller, go and sort it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, Oryx was a big bad, and we didn't really know that there was another big bad behind Oryx. We just thought Oryx was the big bad of 3 big bads that are out there.
Proto.
Yeah. Well, Savathun.
Because we learned how to deal with Hive through Crota, and that gave us a good grounding to deal with Oryx.
Yeah.
Basically, you take out the base of the pyramid, and the pyramid collapses.
Yeah. So all of these worlds collapsing. So we've had the Cabal homeworld, we've had the Hive homeworld, and we've had the Fallen homeworld. They've all been directly or indirectly affected by light and dark.
All but one.
Okay, which one was that? The Cabal.
The Cabal homeworld.
Do we know
that hadn't been? I believe that is pretty certain. That the otherwise they would have mentioned about knowing about the Traveller before.
Okay. Somebody must have known about the Traveller before to develop the technology to then turn it off.
Well, they were in the system.
Yeah, but
they were on Mars.
But Gaul wasn't. Was he?
No, Gaul wasn't, but the Siege Dancers were, and they were still Cabal. So whatever they were finding, they were reporting back to Cabal HQ.
Yeah, fair enough.
So they would have had plenty of time there to actually do a bit of research on it, saying, we can create this giant starfish of doom.
Okay, fair enough.
Chapter 3, Chosen.
My mother could not keep me swaddled to her chest forever. I was no longer a child, and no longer in need of sheltering. I was my own person, and it was time that she understood that. I knew that she loved me, because she shared her ether with me, because she killed those who harmed me, because she wanted better for me than the life we had. But we are not always the arbiters of our own fate. I aspired to nothing short of her approval. She was our inspiration, our leader, our hope, girl of our house and protector of our people. She who gave me a name that meant strength above all else. She named me Mithrax, and I was now strong enough to bear it. On the day I told her I was capable of raiding at her side, we sat together in the cargo hold of our ketch. There was not the pride in her eyes I had hoped for. She was transfixed by the medallion around my neck, an icon of the great machine, one I had taken from the corpse of a splicer, one I had earned through blood. She tore it from my neck, crushing it in her hands.
This will not protect you,
she shouted at me.
This will only lead you to death.
I had never feared my mother before, but I had never seen her look at me the way she did that day. She pushed me up against the wall with her upper arms and pressed the bent charm against my brow.
No son of mine will beg for scraps in the shadows of the Abandoner.
But even as she threatened me, I felt her press something into one of my hands. A reliquary, one of the few she had forged from the treasures of the moon. She saw the recognition on my face and stepped back, releasing me. I could tell she wanted me to inspect it. I had never seen one of the reliquaries up close before, and though the glass was clear, the oily fluid inside obscured everything embalmed within it. Yet still I felt its presence worming behind my eyes, like roots of a great tree burrowing into soil. It whispered to me, not with words, but with promises blooming behind my eyes in visions of glory. When I looked up to my mother, I asked her why we could not have both. Why we could not seek the power we had stolen from the moon and simultaneously earn the right to seek refuge beneath the great machine once more.
You are brave and curious,
my mother mused.
You do not yet understand the brutality of the world.
Then she showed me She drove a knife into my side, twisted it, and split my carapace apart. I did not give her the satisfaction of hearing me scream.
Let this be your first lesson,
she said to me.
You are my crew now, and when your crew question your leadership, you make an example of them.
She drew the knife out of my side and handed it to me.
Never forget that.
I promised her I wouldn't.
That's a tough lesson to learn.
Yeah. So...
Not something you'd do at work.
No. So many questions. Is she technically family? Or, like you said before, he was found and she's looked after him till he's got to the point where he can actually walk on his own 2 feet and actually do the things, and now she's like, this is your final lesson.
I think we can, from what we've read up to now, I think we can pretty much safely say that Inax was Mithrax's mother.
Okay.
And up to that point, she was treating him as a son.
I wonder how she treated Spider and Civics as well.
I think she actually generally took them under her wing a bit as well, because they looked after Mithrax. Because Mithrax was smaller than them, because they were slightly older.
Yeah, but I wonder how she kind of treated them in the end. Maybe that had a knock-on effect to them.
I don't know.
Different ways.
Well, we know from the lore in the cutscenes in game that Mithrax turned them off the ship.
Yeah, but was that because of what he was then wielding at that time?
We believe he did have the artifact at that point. Artifact. I say make it sound really, really thing. We know he had the finger.
The finger of doom.
Yes, he gave him the finger and kicked him off his ship.
Exactly.
Well, he didn't give him the finger, but
no, he kept the finger.
Yeah. Chapter 4, Promise.
We had discovered a ship full of human usurpers hiding behind one of the moons of a dusty red world they called Mars. Generations of survivors carrying on a derelict colony ship since the Great Machine failed them. Civics, Rakis, and I led the raiding party that boarded their vessel. The humans were malnourished and pitiful, yet they still tried to fight us. The battle was short and brutal. I watched Rakis rip a usurper's arms out of the sockets and threw them to the floor. He was so strong back then. We all were. Our growing ether shares were intoxicating, and was the bloodlust of unrestricted violence. Rakis was massive, even then, stronger than all of us. One of the human champions, if they could be called such, challenged Rakis. The rest of us stood by as he tore the human's limbs off one by one, and then crushed what was left of the champion's head between his hands. The other humans threw down their arms and begged for their lives of those who did not fight. Noble, but foolish. I corralled the survivors into an airlock and sealed them inside. Rakis and Civics disagreed with me on how we should handle them. Rakis suggested that they would be more valuable in servitude, rather than be given to the cold dark. Imagine it, he asked of me. Usurpers wearing the sigil of our house, doing our bidding for us. Civic seemed amused by this notion. Usurpers serving us, he said with delight. We could steal back the Great Machine's figure by taking from them their identity. Rakis reached for the airlock controls, and I struck his hand away. He looked at me with confusion and attempted again. Disrespecting my leadership in front of the others, I knew I had to do something. Without hesitation, I evacuated the airlock into space, killing our captives. The brothers, angered, fought back. I held my honor to my aspirations. Strength above all, I butchered half the drakes loyal to Ruckus and Civics, then turned my blade on the brothers. In spite of their struggle, they ended the battle at my feet. Half their followers dead, and the others huddled in fear. My mother was fluent in the language of violence, but I was eloquent. I marooned Ruckus and Civics on an asteroid for their final punishment, along with the surviving crew, and left them with a knife and my mother's lesson. When your crew question your leadership, you make example of them. I returned to our catch during the derelict colony ship. When I told my mother what had become of Ruckus and Civics, I expected her to approve, but instead I saw something haunted in her eyes. I thought she was ashamed of me, of what I had done, but I was only following her example. I was victorious, and yet in victory I felt emptier than in any failure. It was not until much later that I realized the truth. My mother was not ashamed of me. She was ashamed of herself.
Mithrax has now marooned his broodmates on an asteroid.
But he did leave
because they disagreed with him.
Yeah, he did leave him with the lesson that he was taught. I'm surprised Spider doesn't hold much more of a grudge.
Well, now we understand why Spider's the size he is, because he was big back then.
Yeah.
But we can also see a certain amount of Spider's personality in that, making the humans work for him.
Yeah, or making others work for him. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, whereas now we see him doing that with everybody. With a Marlon Brando kind of accent. And that's pretty much brought us up to date. It explains where, if you haven't been playing the game, it explains where the Art of Nezarec came from. It explains where they found them, and a brief history of the Elixni straight from the whirlwind. It doesn't exactly explain the whirlwind.
No. And I think through this and the cutscenes that were in game explaining of where they went to the pyramid, they used I think they used the humans, didn't they, to clear out the hive so that they could then go to the pyramid and then get the parts of Nezarec, or
I think they already had them by then.
Oh, okay.
By the time they found the humans in the colony ship near Mars,
yes, no,
they already had the artifacts by then.
But yeah, they used humans on the moon, didn't they, to clear out the hive,
or at least satisfy the hive's hunger.
Yeah, they used them in some way to clear the route, basically, so that they could get aboard the ship, and then
it's like if you're fighting a crocodile that's hungry, you throw him a bone.
See, try to keep your responses to something wholesome that isn't obviously.
Oh, there's a person who just said your mouth is the most essential skill.
It is.
Yeah, Michael, you're not helping.
That is a life essential skill. It is, and I clarified.
Yeah, in his defense, he didn't take it to a bad place.
Nope.
No, it's everyone else.
He took it to a bad place, just leaving it with your mouth.
Hey,
because
there are so many things you can perform with your mouth.
Now you're trying to
not perform. He meant to say do. There's so many things you can do with your mouth.
You perform breathing exercises. You technically, I guess you can perform eating unless you do ASMR.
Yeah, but it's one skill, one essential skill. That was the question.
Well, that's why I said using your mouth.
Essential skill.
That's pretty essential.
Yeah, it's pretty dang essential.
I could eat.
Right, okay. He could be actually the worst question answerer. It could swap places with you. Let's see how you do on this question.
Okay.
If you could look into a crystal ball to see the future, would you want to?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, why would you even question that? The answer is, of course, yes.
So
now, would you like what you saw? Is a better question, but of course you're going to.
Here's a better question: if you could look into the crystal ball and see your death, would you?
Oh, who asked me this the other day? Did you ask me this?
No.
Oh no, it must have been Phoenix. Someone Phoenix asked me the other day if you could, would you rather see your death or someone else's?
So Chad has looked it up.
Was it in the form of a threat or was it just a question? Because it could go either way, I feel like.
So Chad has looked it up, and it's called the G spot because it was discovered by somebody named Grafenberg. It is the Grafenberg.
Wait. No, the male version though.
Well, he just looked up the G spot.
Why do we keep coming back this?
Because people researched it.
Have you
and
tried
they
it?
report us.
Why do we keep going back? I think it's self-explanatory. If you tried it.
Anyway,
Dead silence there.
She's just drinking her Pepsi like, yeah, hey.
Sorry, I was zoning out. I was thinking about.
We know.
Yeah, we know. Thinking about that slip up. We know. We got you, girl.
Don't ask him anything about coffee because it would be 4 hours.
Zep says it's technically lore. So, I mean, this is just part of the lore episode now.
Mr.
That's
R.
true.
Mr. R, if you could start any charity, what would it be?
If I could start any charity?
Yeah. So it can't be existing. It's got to be a new one. What would it be?
I don't know a lot of charities, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say veteran housing.
Oh, deep.
You know,
just open your doors.
Well, I do.
Yeah, you never invited me over.
Because you're not a veteran.
I'm the child of a veteran.
Well, you never told me that.
Yes, I did. My dad was in the army.
You never told me that.
He just did.
Well, yeah, he just did, but before now, he never told me.
I told you my dad was in the army. My brother's in the Navy.
Now,
Besides,
did
you literally
did you
have
never tell
3
you,
houses.
Or did you not remember?
You have 3 houses to my 1. If anything, I think you owe me, sir.
I don't think that's how your charity's meant to work.
You only need one house. You're good.
He's got 3. He's got one that he rents out in America. He's got one that he rents out in Canada, and he's got the one he lives in now.
That's the wife's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it's not a house. It's
are you not? Aren't you paying the monthlies on that house though?
I am definitely assisting in those things.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. No, he's talking about why don't I open my doors to him? If anything, I want to come move with him in Texas. Shoot.
I mean, taxes are much better.
Yeah. Well,
big piece.
And all I would ask for is that any taxes that you would pay there, that you just pay to me instead.
BFP.
BFP. Nice.
BFP.
Okay, big P.
I will be your government.
Okay. What is the best gift you've ever received in your whole lifetime?
There's I have a terrible memory, but I'm going to say the one that sticks in my brain the most is, I don't know how old we were, but it was walking downstairs to the glow of the big CRT monitor in our family room and Super Mario Brothers sitting there playing on our Super Nintendo. Don't know what year it was, but that's a memory that just sticks in my brain of just the perfect gift that we were super excited for and just played endlessly and relentlessly and spent so many hours with that thing.
So did you get the game or the console?
Both.
Yes.
Nice. That's a good Christmas when you're little.
It is.
It's a really good Christmas. Who's it? Mr. M. Now, let's try and be specific on this one and not make it any rude related things. How would you survive a zombie apocalypse?
Well, that's easy.
Micah?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. M.
every time.
Hey, Mr. M. Oh, am I Mr. M?
Yes.
You are for this round at least.
I get so many different names on, multimedia.
Who else's name starts with an M?
I don't know. Nitedemon might start with an M. I don't know what his real name is.
Yours did a minute ago.
Anyway, find some remote island and take a few, women with me and a couple of men.
A few women.
Just enough to repopulate.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to reprocreate the earth, man.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be work. It's not even gonna be for fun.
You're just gonna take some random women.
So sod your wife for your lovely newborn that you love so much. You're just gonna take some random women, get them by the hair, caveman like, drag them to an island.
I gotta get some younger ones and some fresh ones that will
Oh my God! Someone needs to.
Hey, we're talking about the survival of the human race here. I'm sorry, she's not strong enough.
Right, is anyone
she
like
caught.
vampires with some chlorophyll?
Jeez, I can imagine your wife in a zombie apocalypse.
She would get caught. Dude. She would sincerely get caught.
Second she loses her Starbucks, she's good for nothing.
No, she freaks out over every little thing, so she would literally get caught.
You want to die in the blast. You don't want to wait for the zombies to rise up. You want to drive toward the blast, be at ground zero, and just why survive? What's there to survive for? Done.
I see Peroty's attitude is to give up straight away.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hey, when you grow up near DC in the height of the Cold War, and you have friends who are like, listen, when we get nuked, come up to the mountain here. It'll be fine. You want to die in the blast, not wait for the fallout. You want to be in that middle circle. Who's surviving? Just come on, die in the blast. It's more fun that way.
Has anyone got a middle ground here between dying or going and having to be forced to recreate the population of the world? Is there any?
Hey, he's not forcing anybody to go to the island with him. Let's keep this. Yeah. Let's keep this PC.
Yeah, I'm not killing everybody else off either. You can do whatever you want.
This is the greater good here.
Well, I think the middle ground is either become a zombie or grow a third limb, depending on what kind of.
What do you mean grow a third limb?
Well, if you're caught in a blast of some kind of medical thing.
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
No, you're just going to die. You're not going to be Blinky the fish. It's not going to go well for you. Blinky the fish is the best outcome here.
Apocalypse. It's people suddenly start waking up from the dead. It's not like some nuclear
Why is he driving towards them then?
I don't know what any of you are doing, to be honest. You'll all die. Rubbish.
Not me. I've got weapons, bullets, and a surplus of food and ammo.
See?
So you'll be well fed and then dead, overrun by zombies. Good job.
Can I use my swap card there?
Oh, respawn is loaded. Okay. I'm good for a while. I'm good for hurricanes, zombie apocalypses.
You guys are at least on an island. Us on like a big mainland continent, we're screwed. Zombies can walk here from all over the place. You at least have a little bit of a defense built in where you are. The rest of us done for.
But did you see 28 days later?
Yes,
I sure did, and 28 weeks later.
Yeah,
yes, I'm not saying it's going to go great. I'm just saying it could go maybe slightly better.
Well, that's what they did in the film. They went up to Scotland.
God. Your whole life is revolves around film and what they did in films.
Not all.
Oh my God!
well, there's, to be fair, there's not a whole lot of historical evidence and literature available for zombie apocalypses otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, it also depends on how it starts. Is it viral? Is it radioactive? Is it an act of God? You know,
are these fast zombies? Are they slow zombies? I mean, what kind of zombies are we talking about?
Yeah, there's so many details that you neglected to mention here.
Can they swim?
It depends on the zombies.
Because there was a zombie film that they swam.
They can do everything. They can swim. They're like, yeah.
Oh,
they can swim. They're viral.
Island.
There you go.
Well, contrary to popular belief, although I'm well armed, I would absolutely buy things like swords and bats. Things that never run out of ammo.
Yes, a good baseball bat.
Yeah, but they do make noise. You want a cutting instrument, honestly. An axe, sword, machete.
I mean, who said that zombies can actually hear? It takes blood flow for those things to work. So I'm just saying things won't work like people think they do in movies.
Yeah, like you gotta know what kind of zombie you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I won't, but that's your guys' problem to me.
I won't. I'll walk right up to him and just let him beat me.
No, exactly. I'm done. I'm going out. You guys can deal with the zombies. That's a you guys problem. I'm out. My problems are solved. All my problems are over. You guys are the problems to deal with. Enjoy. No, I get that again to become your problem.
Yeah, he'll be one of the ones chasing us down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nitedemon, have you ever disliked something and then changed your mind?
Yes.
What was her name?
Shut up. Come on, elaborate then.
Nev Campbell.
Why are you doing that now? Oh, come on, elaborate what it is then. Because I don't even know if you're telling the truth or you're just saying yes to act like a normal person at this game. So
to act like a normal person. Did you hear that? To act like not to be a normal person. Actually, normal person shouldn't even come up. Right?
You have met him, haven't you?
Not in real life, but yeah, we've talked to him for a couple years.
He could be an AI. I've never met him in real life.
You're a normal person.
He's not a normal person.
Christ.
He could just be another AI like all the rest of you. I have no reason to know otherwise. I could be an
We've
AI
seen
too.
him on video. We've seen him on video.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
I guess.
Trust me, you don't get the experience till you meet him. Then you realise he's just
a tiny human being that gets picked on by wombats.
Oh, badgers.
Sorry.
Don't bring that up. His therapist said he's not allowed to speak about it anymore. He gets the shakes.
It's the trigger.
Dude, wombats are vicious.
Can we just move on?
No, tell me what you disliked. You've changed.
No, I just really want to buy him a lot of badger stuffed animals and send it to him periodically with no return address throughout the year.
Don't want any more badgers.
What thing did you dislike and you changed your mind?
Is it badgers?
No, it's not badgers.
Come on then.
Stop
Prove that you're not
badgering
just pretending.
You're wasting. I'm done.
Well played.
I'm done. My head hurts. I'm done. Too much laughing. Game over.
See, told you he was pretending.
Objection, badgering the witness.
Let's
move on to respawn.
What did you dislike and you now like? We need details.
Time's up. Next person. Next question.
Right, I told you he's trying to act normal. You're letting him get away with this.
You can interrogate him after the fact.
Respawn's next.
I will interrogate him. I'll tie him down. Don't worry, and I'll interrogate.
Well, hello. And then she'll flip for that P spot.
Right, respawn.
Ma'am.
What would be the title of your memoir?
He did what? Exclamation point, question mark?
Nice.
How come he doesn't get questioned even more?
Because that answers it.
That's pretty clear, actually.
Okay. You didn't say yes.
That would be, and now the goats are silent.
That's the lambs, not the goats.
I know that's your goats.
Very good. What do you do when nobody's watching you?
Play a lot of video games for the most part.
Play Destiny.
Quiet house, playing video games, obviously.
Right, Mr. M. Hang on, I'm going fine. How good are you at remembering things on the spot?
Very.
Would other people agree with that though? Is that just your opinion?
Unfortunately, he is annoyingly accurate at remembering things, and he'll throw it in your face as soon as he gets a chance to. So yeah, I can back that up.
To be fair, he hasn't remembered his name the whole show yet.
To be fair, you've called him like 8 different names.
Just Mr. M.
I never knew who you were talking to when you said it the first time.
But his name on the screen is like just random letters. Doesn't mean anything. It's just random letters.
His name is Micah.
No, it doesn't say that on there.
Well, that doesn't have to do with it.
No, that's Mckyhazl. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mckyhazl is the one that's on there.
Very confusing for me.
Also, keep in mind that I am playing Destiny at the same time, so I am somewhat distracted.
Oh,
You're just playing PvP.
Yeah, exactly. Very intentional.
What's the question?
Okay, it is. If you only had 5 minutes in a grocery store, what would you buy?
That used to be a very easy answer.
Me?
It's back to you.
Pepsi, chocolate, cakes.
Whoa! I thought this was Micah's question.
No, I had the memory question.
Yeah, the memory one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'd buy everything.
Well, it was my question. I was answering it, not you.
Come on then. 5 whole minutes? Imagine what you could shove in your basket in 5 minutes.
Shove in your basket.
I said cakes, chocolate.
Are we still talking about the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
chocolate cakes.
He went out to get milk the other night. He came back and it came up on my phone that apparently in the shop I'd spent £40 on a pint of milk.
Well, to be fair, I mean that's about what a pint of milk costs these days.
Yeah.
No, you came in with 2 carrier bags filled with cakes and sweets.
Milk and more milk.
Yeah, milk and more.
If you're gonna have milk, you gotta have the sweets that go with the milk. That's the obvious choice.
What's the milk washing down?
Yeah,
you know the rule.
It's all a related purchase.
No, he's not allowed out in a shop. He's never allowed in a shop unaided without an adult.
Well, we'll see. Why did you send him? That's on you then.
Because
you knew, you understood the risk, and you ignored the risk.
You know, we made. I said, go and get the milk. Okay, just get the milk, nothing else. Okay, can I have your card? And I was like, no, okay.
I'm not happy with that.
Bad news. And then he came back telling us all to drink something that he'd made that's really, really nice. That's not.
Well, let me ask you, was it really, really good?
No, it wasn't. It was like drinking glass, right? So he made us all drink it, and then when the kids are going, oh yeah, it's actually all right, and drunk quite a lot of it, he told us it's milk in Pepsi Max.
I just heard that the other day.
No,
do you love your family?
Milk.
Yeah.
No. I heard about that.
I'm not so sure.
It's horrible.
It's a thing. It's a thing, dude. It's called milk.
First off, Pepsi should never be consumed. That's where you went wrong to begin with. And then you put it into milk. No, I'm sorry. Just you're 0 for 2.
Absolutely vile. It was horrible.
But you sent him to the store, and then you knew what was going to happen here, so you can't be surprised when the obvious thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I always have a little glimmer of hope that just one day he won't buy the whole shop.
You know who you married. He's the same person.
He spent 40 pounds. Imagine him telling you, hey, we need to go for toilet paper. And you go, okay, here's my card. And she comes out with toilet paper, a new toy, a pair of shoes, milk, 8 different kinds of fruit, 4 different kinds of meat, bread, a bundle of cheeses. I'm just like,
well, you were just saying how well prepared you are. It sounds like she's just aiding and abetting, the homesteading down there.
You're not wrong, but it shouldn't be a surprise. When you tell me you're going for one thing, I'm expecting the one thing. I'm not expecting a $200 receipt.
You know who you married. If you're expecting them to do something else, that's on you.
He's clearly in the right. I like him more every time I speak to him.
If he was clearly in the right, and if you were clearly in the right, you would give us the exact amount of money.
Who carries cash anymore?
Cash. I didn't have cash.
Oh.
I didn't have cash.
Doesn't exist.
Well, you'd send us in with the correct amount.
I don't have cash.
Can't block.
You should be able to be trusted to go into a shop.
We can't.
Clearly.
Obviously not.
You've got a condition.
I have, yeah.
You have. Right, who's next? Respawn.
Is it? Oh, wow. That's fast.
If you got stranded on a desert island with only 3 items, what would they be? And it's only 3.
Only 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Machete,
Micah, and
machete, fishing line, and a tarp.
Itchy lion?
A what?
Machete, fishing line, and a tarp.
Oh, okay.
That's very sensible.
Okay.
Well, I've gone through military survival training, so yeah. I want to survive.
Follow-up question, though. How would you use the fishing line without a hook?
Oh, you can make hooks out of all kinds of stuff, dude.
Excuse me, you can't ask supplementary questions.
No, but I'm asking the supplementary question because he's now thinking that he's going to make something out of a hook.
No, you can totally make hooks out of anything that crap washes up on a beach all the time. And you can make hooks out of bones. You can make hooks out of sticks.
If your tarp has the little metal rings, you can
pull
little
ringlets,
out,
absolutely.
a hook, and you're done.
Hell yeah.
No, your tarp is just a plain tarp.
But still, I mean, you can make hooks out of bone, out of sticks.
You can take the machete, carve a shell.
I could also use the string to build a basket to catch fish, which then I can get the bones to use to make hooks, which then I can use the string to fish with. So,
the circle of life.
Mm.
At least you know he's thinking about his questions and not just making up answers to act normal. What thing did you like and you subsequently liked afterwards you didn't like?
She's still on about it.
I'm gonna guess it's milk and Pepsi Max.
Oh, and then he went, "Oh, it's really nice," and just stood in front of us, glugging down this massive glass. It was disgusting. It made me feel so sick. It wasn't right.
Something delicious. Why would you not?
Don't put milk in fizzy drink, though, do you? It just doesn't go.
Look, Lindsay Lohan said it was good.
Oh, Lindsay Lohan said it. Did she?
There was a Pepsi advert with her.
Yeah, I bet there was. I bet that wasn't the milk she was referring to.
So for those of you keeping score at home, you can add Lindsay Lohan to the list right next to Nev Campbell.
Yeah, Lindsay clearly comes in second, though. Like, she has a visceral reaction to Nev Campbell. Lindsay Lohan, she's just like me.
Correct. That's why she gets added to the list. It's a new addition. Nev Campbell is the list, engraved in blood on that list.
Although, there was someone else I thought of the other day.
What's that?
Oh, I know, the one in that girl with the big eyes, the blue eyes, that you keep watching.
Big eyes.
Films with her in. There's been a few films that you've watched, and she's suddenly cropped up in another film. It's like, oh, her again, is it? Yeah, I wonder why we're watching this.
What's this?
Oh, you've got all high pitch. That's a proof positive.
I genuinely don't know what you're talking about.
Girl with the big eyes. Yeah, that doesn't really narrow it
And
down.
they're blue.
Oh, Christina Ricci.
Oh, I love Christina Ricci.
She's really old now. She's got brown eyes.
Cutest
She's
weird looking girl.
Old?
She's our age.
Oh God, that makes me feel bad. in my head, I'm not that old. No,
None
you
of us
know.
are. It's okay.
What was the
I'll
film?
have to think about it.
Okay.
Right, the one.
What
with
was the
Derek
film?
where they're on the plane.
Well, recently she's in the Addams Family TV show on Netflix as the teacher.
Oh, what's her name then? Come on then, what's her name?
Alexander Daddario.
Oh, you know it. Oh, that's good.
That's not a real name.
It doesn't sound like a name I'm familiar with.
She's the one in Baywatch film. with The Rock.
Oh, is she?
That doesn't narrow it down. There was a lot of women in that.
Costume in it? Did she have
Alexandra, you said Daddario. Is there like a double D?
Daddario.
Hasn't got a double D. It's all
Daddario.
I don't even know her real name.
Oh, yes, okay.
Daddario. Alexandra Daddario. I typed in what I thought you said, and Google was like, "Did you mean this?" And I went, "Sure."
And she was in Baywatch. Yep, that's her.
She's a human.
She's got big blue eyes. That's all I remember.
Oh, I'm glad you put blue eyes after that sentence.
So if you're making an insinuation about her boobs, they're not that big. She's average at best.
Alexandra Daddario?
Yeah.
Let us look and see.
She's also
no. She got some lips on her. I tell you what, though.
Blue-eyed brunette.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, she's gorgeous, man. She's
no, she's pretty, but she keeps making references to her boobs, and they're average.
What's up with beautiful women throwing themselves at the ugliest men in film, though? You got Alexander Daddario, Harrelson, and then you have whatever her name, the black girl. What's her name?
Money. The black girl. There's only one black girl in Hollywood.
You will know once I say to Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, because women older than like 20 aren't allowed to be in film, whereas old men can be in film because patriarchy, obviously.
I see.
Isn't old though.
The patriarchy.
I mean, they keep shoving people like whatever her name is, Wonder Woman.
The girl that plays in Parks and Recreation. What's her name? The secretary.
Oh,
her. Yeah, she's cute.
I like her, but I think she's cute.
Aubrey
but
Plaza.
what really, yeah, thank you, Aubrey Plaza. What really
Also in White Lotus
caught my attention was when she was on her late night show, and she was talking about how every boyfriend she gets, she gives him helicopter lessons, and he's all like, "Why?" She goes, "Because during the zombie apocalypse, he's got to fly the helicopter." And he goes, "Well, why don't you fly the helicopter?" And she goes, "Because I'm in charge of guns and ammo." I'm all like, "Oh my god, I love her!" And after that, it was milk and butter. After that, there's who's gonna top that?
it was milk and butter. Is that a phrase
I
anyone
don't
else has
know what
ever
that is.
encountered before right now in this moment?
I don't know what that saying is. What's that saying mean?
Just average milk and butter, I'm guessing.
What?
We don't know what you're talking
What's
about.
milk and butter mean?
Milk and butter is a new one on all of us.
I'm sorry. I think I was thinking milk and honey, and then milk and butter came out.
He was thinking about the milk.
Nitedemon, please name this episode. It's all milk and butter.
What's milk and honey? What's milk and honey mean?
The land of milk and honey. What the Semites searched for 40 years after they left slavery.
Dude, she's an atheist. She doesn't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you mean.
Really?
It's part of the empire. It's just part of the empire. You don't need to worry about it.
The Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars.
So is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I meant the British Empire, but that too, I guess.
So the land of milk and honey are what the Semites searched for 40 years after leaving slavery in Egypt. It was called the land of milk and honey because it was supposedly going to give them everything they desired for, which I guess back then was milk and honey.
Milk and butter.
He's got dreams. His fun dream is milk and butter. You know, I'm not going to stop him. You know, pursue those dreams, my friend. I believe in you. Get yourself some cows. You'll be all set.
I do not understand.
No, I can't remember.
Yo, my wife wants a farm. Do not encourage that crap.
I used to live on an 82-acre farm. I could
She wants all kinds of vacas and cavallos, dude, and I'm like, we can't afford that.
And you're going back to rural Virginia. You better not let her visit you.
For real, right?
I'm into
deep questions.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
Deep questions. And it's Mr. P, isn't it?
Yeah, Mr. P.
Sure, why not?
In the P spot.
Okay. Oh, these are deep questions, though.
Like the P spot.
All right, come on. We got Jack Candy here.
I don't know. I can't judge against that yet. I'll let you know next time.
I'm just glad she caught on finally.
What is your biggest regret?
Ooh.
Agreeing to do this podcast.
This episode.
Now weigh in on that one. Hold on.
The whole thing, he regrets it right from the beginning.
You know, I don't. There's not really one that comes to mind, to be completely honest. I've gone through life and just sort of taken it as it comes. I don't really have anything where I look back on and be like, oh, I really regret this or that or the other. I don't know. Don't really have one that comes to mind. That's my cop-out answer for the episode.
Right, that's two of you that's copped out on questions now. And one that doesn't ever know it's his turn. So now I'm just left with,
his turn's coming up,
potty mouth now.
No,
Dirty boy.
Respawn. Okay.
I don't know. You and I equally no.
No, there's no equal. Micah has a capacity, so there's you still win.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I have a dirty mind, but my mouth is always dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Ask away, damn it.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Destiny for the 4th week of Season 19, Season of the Seraph, commencing December 27th, 2022. Our 4th featured Nightfall will see us face off against Sadia in the Corrupted over on the Dreaming City, where you have a chance to get a pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 100k or more. This Nightfall is a free-to-play Nightfall. You will be able to earn high-end gear for your character, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, and adept mods. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 3 Overload champions and 6 Unstoppable, with 22 Solar, 30 Void, and 15 Arc Shields. Masters will have 8 Overload and 10 Unstoppable, with 20 Solar, 28 Void, and 14 Arc Shields. Your Adept Nightfall modifiers will be Empath, Enhanced Radar, take increased damage from melee, Acute Arc Burn, plus 25% arc damage dealt and 25% arc damage received. Hero modifiers include all previous modifiers. Champions Foe, you will face Overload and Unstoppable champions. You must equip Anti-Overload and Anti-Unstoppable mods to your armor to defeat them. These mods come from the seasonal artifact. Hero modifiers, extra shields. The Closer, when targets are nearby you have improved slide. After sliding, your ranged weapon attacks deal increased damage for a short time. Legend modifiers include all previous modifiers. Equipment locked, you will not be able to change your equipment after this activity starts. Match game, enemy shields are highly resistant to all unmatched elemental damage. Shielded foes, you will face combatants with arc, solar and void shields. Epitaph, taken combatants generate blight geysers when defeated. Master modifiers include all previous modifiers. Togetherness, base health regen is reduced. If near another player, health regen is increased. Chafe, radar is disabled. Champions Mob, this mode contains additional champions. And Sadia's Durance, arc damage is increased, knockback damage and distance is also increased. And as this is a new season, the Grandmaster Nightfalls will not be returning until January 17th, 2023. But your anti-champion artifact mods for this week's Nightfall are Overload Scout Rifle, Submachine Gun, Alt Rifle, and the grenade mod Lord Kelvin's Basilisk, where void and stasis grenades disrupt overloads, all for 1 energy, unstoppable hand cannon for 1 energy, and grenade launcher for 7. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For overload, the void energy bow Le Monarch, the arc energy linear trace rifle Divinity, the arc heavy machine gun Thunderlord, and the warlock exotic boots the Secant Filaments, which when you drop an empowering rift, any weapon that is fired from inside the well can cause an overload champion to be stunned. For unstoppable, we have the kinetic fusion rifle Bastion, the kinetic hand cannon Malfeasance, the solar energy sidearm Devil's Ruin, the void heavy bow Leviathan's Breath, and the hunter gauntlets Athris Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. Next up, Lord Shaxx brings Momentum Control to the featured Crucible playlist for the 4th week of the season.
Delightful!
Momentum Control is a 6v6 PvP mode, which is a variation of the regular control mode, where every weapon is significantly higher in lethality, meaning that you can take out your opponents much faster than normal. Respawns are instant, and defeating enemy players in Momentum Control will grant you faster regeneration on your melee, grenade, and super. Players get increased damage resistance when they activate a super, to help counteract that little bit of extra damage that the guns give out. The mode also has increased capture speeds on points, and radar is removed for every player. Achieve victory by capturing zones and defeating opponents.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
In addition, the weekly Witch Queen reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drops for the Wellspring activity, Preservation mission, and the Vox Obscura replayable exotic mission. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ghosts, where the modifiers are Fire Pit and Raider Shields, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. The Kingsfall Raid Challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Oryx, called Hands Off. Players must not kill the same ogre or light-eating knight throughout the encounter. The Vow of the Disciple Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Acquisition, called Swift Destruction, where Guardians must kill all champions within a few seconds of each other on all rounds. The Deepstone Crypt Challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, Taniks Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner, and Suppressor. The Garden of Salvation Challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Embrace, called To the Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclopses that spawn near the Consecrated Mind. And the Last Wish Challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Riven, called Strength of Memory, where Guardians must not shoot the same Riven eye twice. Your Pinnacle Raid will be the Vault of Glass in the Legends tab, meaning all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the 1st encounter, Confluxes, called Wait For It, where every yellow bar wyvern must be killed as they sacrifice themselves to the Confluxes. The 2nd encounter, Oracles, called The Only Oracle For You. Players cannot destroy the same oracle more than once. The 3rd encounter, Templar, called Out of Its Way, where you must keep the Templar from teleporting. The 4th encounter, Gatekeeper, called Strangers in Time. Players must defeat the Praetorian and Wyvern at the same time. And the 5th encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. Each player teleported can only destroy one oracle in each spawn set. Also, with the Vault of Glass being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic fusion rifle, the Vex Mythoglass. And the Pinnacle Dungeon for this week will be the Grasp of Avarice over on the Cosmodrome. Next up, challenges. So for week 4, we have 2 classified challenges next week, but as with the previous weeks, they will be a continuation of the challenges we had for the story. These should be More Than a Weapon Part 4, complete week 4 of More Than a Weapon, with the reward being an Exoframe module and Challenge XP+, and Heist Battlegrounds 4. In Heist Battlegrounds playlist or legend, open 5 Seraph chests and defeat 50 powerful enemies. An Exoframe module and Challenge XP Plus will be the reward. The challenges available in the database are as follows. Entropic Shock. Defeat combatants with arc or void damage in Heist Battlegrounds. 150 final blows will award you with Challenge XP Plus. Seasonal Shaping 1. Unlock the pattern for any seasonal or Ikelos version 1.0.3 weapon for Challenge XP Plus. Mod Collector. Unlock 12 artifact mods. This will award you with Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Precision calibration. Calibrate marksman weapons by landing precision final blows with scout rifles or sniper rifles. Bonus progress will be awarded for defeating Guardians. 200 of those will earn you Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. High Value Hunter. Defeat powerful combatants in Gambit. Earn bonus progress for defeating high value targets. 75 combatant kills will award you with Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. Momentum Crash. Defeat Guardians in Momentum Control. Earn bonus progress with Zone Advantage. 50 Guardians slain will award you with Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. And Darkest Nightfall. Complete any Nightfall strike on Hero difficulty or higher. 3 Nightfalls will award you with Challenge XP+, Bright Dust, and a Nightfall weapon. Speaking of Bright Dust, we have our Eververse for the week of December 27th, 2022. Available this week for Bright Dust, we have the Ice Carving Exotic Emote will be available for 3,250 Bright Dust. The Glee Barrage Exotic Weapon Ornament for the Xenovage Machine Gun for 1,250 Bright Dust. The Legendary Baking Projection for your Ghost for 1,500 Bright Dust. The Dawning Tranquility Shader for 300 Bright Dust. The Shaky Skating Exotic Multiplayer Emote will be available this week for 4,250 Bright Dust. The Snow Bunny Legendary Emote for 700 Bright Dust. The Exotic Nutcracker Ghost Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust. The Polar Vortex Exotic Sparrow for 2,500 Bright Dust. The A Frictional Cooler Exotic Ship for 2,000 Bright Dust. The Infinite Gift Exotic Weapon Ornament for the Vex Mythoclast Fusion Rifle for 1,250 Bright Dust. And finally, the Shower of Gifts Legendary Transmit Effect for 450 Bright Dust.
Lead the way.
For our Legacy rotation, we have the Loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 1's rotation with the Wild Hunt armor set and Scatterhorn armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Arsenic Bite 4B bow, the Blast Batu grenade launcher, the Corsair's Wrath linear fusion rifle, the Deafening Whisper energy grenade launcher, the Dire Promise hand cannon, the Enigma's Draw sidearm, the Escape Velocity submachine gun, the Giant 7 pulse rifle, the Friction Fire submachine gun, the Royal Chase scout rifle, and the True Prophecy hand cannon. On Europa this week, Praxis the Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, the Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. On the Moon, the weekly story mission will be In Search of Answers. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth. The Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Hawkis in the Anchor of Light. The Nightmare hunts this week will be Skolas, Pride, Omnigul, Anguish, and Zydron, Servitude. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia, and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken Enemies and the Plague Inomina, with the Keep of Honed Edges being the Ascendant Challenge, located over in the Harbinger's Seclude.
Hello!
As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of champions and burns you will find inside. But if you are new to the game or you're using an alternate character and cannot find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master. Tuesday, December 27th will be Aphelian's Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic helmets, Void Elemental Shields, Stasis Burn with Unstoppable and Overload champions. Wednesday, December 28th will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon for exotic boots, Solar and Arc Elemental Shields, Void Burn with Overload and Barrier champions. Thursday, December 29th will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon for exotic gauntlets, Solar Elemental Shields, Arc Burn with Overload and Barrier champions. Friday, December 30th will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon for exotic chests, Arc Elemental Shields, Void Burn with Unstoppable and Barrier champions. Saturday, December 31st will be the K1 Communion on the Moon for exotic helmets, Solar and Void Elemental Shields with a Solar Burn with Unstoppable and Barrier champions. Sunday, January 1st, 2023 will be Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic boots, Void Elemental Shields, Void Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, January 2nd will be the Concealed Void on Europa for exotic gauntlets, Solar and Void Elemental Shields, Solar Burn with Overload and Barrier Champions.
Guardian down.
Before we go, we have a few more things to go over for next week's reset. Don't forget, Destiny's Christmas event, The Dawning, enters its final week, so get out there and bake those cookies for those sweet rewards. And you can enjoy bonus Trials ranks in the Trials of Osiris playlist all weekend long, from the daily reset on December 30th until the weekly reset on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023.
That is amazing.
And don't forget the annual Moments of Trials are active in-game, where you can earn in-game and Bungie store rewards. And that's it for our 4th week of Season of the Seraph. Have a happy new year, and we will see you next time.
Where do you go to when you need fresh inspiration?
The toilet, obviously.
I guess home. I guess.
He's going to answer the.
He's going to answer every question now,
gonna
isn't he?
anyway,
He just wants to do every question.
Who?
Just ask. He might just ask you all the questions.
Wait, I thought that was my
M.
question.
No, it's M.
Well, yo just said I was a potty mouth.
Promises, promises.
My case, Your Honor.
Mr.
Okay.
M.
Where is do
Where do you
I
go for
Mr. M
inspiration?
said he's going to go to the
where do I
bathroom.
go for inspiration?
No, he said he goes to the toilet for inspiration. I feel
No.
there's better places to go for inspiration.
There
though.
are better places, but my places for inspiration are actually a little bit more, I guess you say, metaphorical or ish, kind of.
So physically, you can get there if you go to the toilet. You can then get in your brain space to be there.
Dark, in the dark, blacked out room.
So you sit in a dark toilet.
Yeah, just close the door. It's one of the toilets. It's just like its own little room. Just go in
Okay.
there, sit on the pot, push one out, think about life.
Oh God!
Or two, depending how much fiber you got.
I mean, you might
Nice.
have pellets.
Oh God!
Ooh, little rabbit pellets. Ew.
Moving on. Night Demon. Night Demon. Which one should I choose for you?
The way she says that is unsettling. Did that unsettle anybody else just now?
Oh, I've been unsettled for a while now.
She goes, ooh, Night Demon. Ooh, give me chills, like involuntarily.
Night Demon.
When are chills voluntary?
Okay.
You make a valid point.
Night Demon. This
Yes.
might make you think for quite a long period of time.
Oh God!
What's been your most embarrassing moment in your life?
Starting this podcast,
Oh, there've been so
obviously.
many. Oh God!
Well, I mean,
Well,
you
I'm
ask a deep question, you're going to get a deep answer.
You
That's
just told me
not
we
an impulse
had to
answer.
think about it.
Well, I would say
Oh, you're doing that face. You're doing that face.
that was embarrassed at the Italian airport, but I wasn't. So
No, you show no shame. So there was no shame there whatsoever. There's no shame. Let's actually think of something that you've been shameful.
So, what happened at the Italian
No,
airport?
That sounds like a
Asking-
story for another time. We need to know about.
It does. It does. It sounds like that should go on
we
the
need to
New
know
Year's
about?
special.
That was
Oh, yeah.
one of my most
Oh, okay.
embarrassing moments.
okay, we'll
And
ask
my
you
whole
that.
family's most embarrassing moments. It wasn't in your top 10, was it?
He's part of the family. Last I heard.
I wasn't at this
It
point.
wasn't
I think
at
I was
that
just
point.
boyfriend, wasn't I?
Ooh, ooh,
And he's still stuck
cut.
around.
Fair enough.
Um,
What's been your most embarrassing moment? When have you felt shame at anything you've ever done?
I don't think I've ever felt ashamed.
No, I can concur with that.
That was quick.
No, you must have. You must have something that you've done that you've been embarrassed about.
You naughty boy.
Oh, stop it.
And if not, you're going to later.
Oh, I don't think I've
Anyone else hearing gloves snapping in the background?
done loads of
Stupid things.
that you could be embarrassed about, but I just don't get embarrassed about it.
Again, you fair.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm-
playing the game. I'm telling you, an
You're
honest
telling
answer.
me in 40, however old you are, I don't know anymore, 40 whatever,
Told ya.
44, 43,
Once you get to 40, you just stop counting.
You've
It's
never
irrelevant at this
ever-
point.
Yeah, but the fact that she keeps
35.
adding numbers is hilarious.
you have never felt embarrassed once in your life you've never gone, oh my God, I can't believe I did that or said that?
Nope.
Right, that's because you have no soul. Anyway, moving on then.
Oh, once she got deep quick.
Respawn. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future?
Future, 100%.
Why?
Because I'm a techno geek and I want to see, assuming we haven't killed ourselves by then, how far we get technologically speaking.
That's true.
Pass for me.
Well, good thing she didn't ask you.
No. I felt right to Respawn at that moment.
I know. I'm trying to curb myself. All right, I'm trying to be good.
It's just I like the good question. The good question is like, ooh, I want to answer that too.
I mean, it is a good question though.
You passed on it. How is you want to answer the question and then you pass on it?
That's true. No, he said the past. He said the past. He would travel to the past. He didn't pass on it.
Okay, then what's the full answer? Why?
Oh, dude, like knowing the stuff that's going to take place, get rich, actually use that richness to make a difference in the world or your whatever. Like you could become the richest person in the world.
And then buy Twitter.
Yep, exactly.
Well, before you buy Twitter.
Be the new Elon.
Except
don't invest in SpaceX
or buy Twitter.
So yeah, like, dude, the stuff you could do with knowledge.
Actually, I go back to the past to try to figure out all the things we've lost, like all of the how did they build that, how did this happen, and that knowledge is just gone.
Wait,
where'd it go?
Wait, hold on. What would that do? What good would that do you if you can't come back from that to tell everyone?
That sounds like a them problem. I'm curious. They're on their own. I'm not here to make the world a better place. They're on their own. I want to know and figure it out.
That's right. Did T-Rexes actually have feathers?
There's a sense.
How are the pyramids actually built? The Easter Island statues. Are they actually giant?
Like what are they for? All these big mysteries. Like I want to know. Was it just like, hey, let's put a bunch of heads on this island to screw with everybody in the future, make them think this is a thing, and we just built a bunch of heads because it was a laugh?
No, it's not impossible. No, if you think about it,
it'd be amazing.
If one day there was a leader like Respawn, I would absolutely do something like that for that very reason.
Like me.
What about you?
What's your sensible answer then?
Oh no, I was just mocking him for going. If there was a leader like me.
Oh, okay. Why did?
That would intentionally and deliberately do something just to screw with people.
No, the sensible answer for Peroty is if he does go back and he finds out the stuff, he knows where to hide the book where he writes down all the information so that somebody in the future.
Is this come from a film?
No, I'm just saying. Good.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got the knowledge. What you do with it is honestly the less interesting part to me than the mystery of what.
So, Mr. M, what words of wisdom would you pass down to your younger self?
Say it one more time.
What words of wisdom would you pass down to your younger self?
Don't marry a valley girl from Africa.
No, that one. If it's in that context, I wouldn't have let myself get potentially maybe catfished. But honestly, it would be just literally the crap that's going on in the stock market. That's what I pass myself. I'd be like, get involved in it early and go with Netflix. It's like it's gonna be much, but it's gonna be nice. And Amazon, it's gonna run the world partially.
Yeah.
So same concept with the traveling the future, travel back to time. Yeah, that's what I pass down. Everything else is just fun to learn on the way. Nah, don't worry about it. You're okay. It's fine.
Your turn.
I know.
I like this question. Question 191. Have you heard of love languages? What is your main one?
Video games.
No, that's not the love language.
Damn it.
No,
do you know what
my wife had to explain this to me. It's like, how do you express love? Do you give gifts? Do you say nice things? Do you write poetry? Do you physically please your partner? What do you do to show affection? That's your quote love language.
Gifts.
Or rather, it's what do you like to have as your love language? What speaks to you?
No,
because everybody's love language is different. So it's what speaks to you.
I like to give gifts.
Do you like to receive gifts?
He's gonna be receiving one later.
Yeah, so that's what your love language is. Someone else's love language is to receive it. So is your love language to receive the gift, or like how do you feel loved? What do people do to make you feel loved?
This is like your therapy session.
Sit and watch a film with me.
That makes you feel loved.
Yeah, that we all kind of.
Wow.
Would that fall under acts of service or quality time? It sounds like you're a quality time person. You just want to spend quality time with your partner.
Yeah.
No, his act of service comes later.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get some service upon him, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, let's see.
Sicko.
Sound of glove snapping.
Keeping the therapy going. What's Deacon's?
Sound of glove snapping.
What's Deacon's love language, and is it completely different than
quality
time?
Completely different, please.
What is yours?
We won't be discussing mine.
Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical
acts
touch.
Of service. Ooh.
So respawns.
Yo.
What is your definition of success?
My definition of success is: do you have a family? Have you been able to successfully provide for that family to give them a comfortable life? You don't have to be fantastically rich, but comfortable. That's how I view success. Have you taken care of the ones that you love?
This is very revealing about all of your personalities. This is quite fascinating.
Okay.
I find it interesting.
He's just telling you what you want to hear.
Oh, he can do whatever he likes. He says a lot of the right things, to be fair.
This is Respawn we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
What are we
Deacon and Respawn are the same person. We've established that. This is long since established.
No,
don't give him that.
No, it's interesting.
They would kill each other if they were together, though.
He always goes to money. Always mentions money and thinks that's successful. And Respawn is actually quite a kind heart and quite a very like, I don't mean basic in that sense, but quite a basic like family and things the basics are important to him. And Peroty always seems to skim off his answers. He always seems to. Peroty don't want to let people in. He skims around his answers a little bit and he flirts around and he don't quite want to give the real answer. You're just not human. Apart from that, I've got everyone else worked out.
That's absolutely true. Because and the reason being is because these are the things that I lacked growing up as a child. And I vowed that if I had to suffer, I would make sure that nobody would have to suffer because of me. So, yeah, that's what it is.
It's quite emotional.
Didn't have a great upcoming. So,
oh God.
Lessons have been learned.
We've all bought the story.
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
It's all milk and butter, guys. It's all milk and butter.
No, Micah's lived life in easy mode. He's a big, beautiful, caramel-skinned black man with these green eyes and beautiful hair. I'm so jealous of him.
And what has it got me in life? Nothing.
$150 an hour job where you stay at home and play Destiny all day.
It's not $150 an hour. Thank you, sir.
To be fair,
I will be there at one point. But not yet.
I don't Destiny all day.
You're a kept man.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. That sounds pretty bad.
Peroty. I want to go deep. I want Peroty to give me a deep answer. The answer dodger. The skimmy over. Right.
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I've noticed. Peroty, how do you show kindness to other people?
Show kindness just to other people in general?
Yeah.
Give my time, give my attention, give what's needed. If it's, needing help doing something, helping you move, changing light bulbs, whatever. If it's just needing an ear to talk to, happy to do that.
Do you need a chair to change a light bulb?
No.
The man can change the light bulb in the Sistine Chapel without a chair.
Hey, someone's got to do it.
Hey, I'm 6'1". I thought I was tall. And Parody's like, that's cute. I'm like, what do you mean? 6'1".
Hold this for me, sir.
That's like up to my chin. What?
How tall are you then?
6'5".
Bloody hell, spells.
Yeah.
Oh, you two were dwarf over Nitedemon then.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We know that.
You're a small for man.
So someone has to be pocket
This
sized.
has been established. Yes, we know.
I'm a child in size and heart.
Yeah, but you've got a whopping hands.
What's that got to do with the price of eggs?
Did you just say what's that have to do with the price of eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swing that thing around. You'll find out.
I
That's
have
right.
big hands. She's not saying
Whenever he turns to the left, you children have to duck.
I feel like the BFG.
You have big hands. I mean, your hands and feet are bigger than they should be.
Yeah.
For your height.
One day you'll grow into your hands. Don't worry.
No, I was stunted. My parents smoked for my whole entire life.
That's true. I think they did stunt you. Is it Mr. M?
It's back to Mr.
I
M.
believe it is.
What about me? What happened?
Your turn.
Your turn.
Okay.
What are you most grateful for in your life?
Mm-hmm.
The hell was that? Anyway, honestly, the more I look at it, that was your wife?
Yeah.
Jesus. Actually, the more I think about it, it's honestly good family or a stable family. The value of it is really super valuable. Honestly, it is.
Is he copying
Mother,
your
father in the home that taught me right and gave me values and didn't let me be a dumbass. So it was great.
I feel targeted.
I mean, I could be like you. Wow. I think about that every day.
Wow.
Jaded as
I'm not jaded. I'm just
it's pretty jaded.
Be clear, he didn't target you. You stepped out into the
yeah, he walked into the street.
Well, I didn't walk in. Everything he said was
you moved
whatever.
closer.
See, and my parents taught me better than to do that. My parents told me, don't walk out.
He started off with a mother and a father. Well, ain't got that. Who taught me lessons? Well, that ain't me.
Mike is over here shooting off into an empty field. Respawn's like running in front of the bullets. Hold on. Here it comes.
But my dad, the first time I met my dad, I was 16, and he took me to a bar and started a bar fight that he made me finish. I'm like, are you serious?
What the heck? But yeah, see, my point. Good parents.
You ready for your question?
I'm so ready. I don't get to see these questions ahead of time, so it's not like I can prepare myself.
No, we noticed. It shows.
Neither do we. It's fine.
What thing did you once like that you now liked?
Oh God, we're not.
No. No. What are your 3 personality traits that you most are proud of and like?
Funny.
Think you're funny?
Yeah.
Do you?
Am I not funny?
You're funny to you. You find yourself funny.
Well, that's all right. That's a
no
good
one
personal
else
trait,
finds
isn't
themselves
it?
funny. You find yourself really funny. Okay, funny.
Was that not the right answer then?
No, there's no right answer. It's your opinion.
Yeah, you got 3 of them. You got 2 more.
There's no right answer, but Deacon is going to judge each and every one of them very harshly.
I can't think of anything.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just funny.
No, there's 3. You've got to think of 3 personality traits.
I mean, I would give him artistic, right?
Oh, yeah. Autistic.
No, artistic. R-A-R-T. Artistic.
Just checking.
This man is persistent like nobody else.
True.
Yes, that's true.
This podcast is an example.
Yeah, let's not go there. Definitely persistent.
Yeah, persistent. I'll go with them. Persistent, artistic, and funny.
Mm-hmm.
See, again, you're trying to act like a normal human. You're taking You had to have 2 other people help you with an answer about your own personality.
Well, I wasn't sure.
He's a starving artist. His wife starves him, and he's an artist.
Oh, this is Mr. M. Is he?
No,
Respawn.
Hold on. He's dealing with the baby.
I keep skipping Respawn. Don't know why. It's involuntary, honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Hurts. What's one thing you would change about yourself?
Physically, my metabolism. It's so hard for me to stay in shape these days.
Is that because you're getting old, though?
No, it's because in the Marine Corps we would consume 9,000 to 12,000 calories a day, and then somehow burn it all off, right? So our metabolism swaps to storing as much energy as it can because it knows we're going to burn it. Well, then you get out of the Marine Corps, and the metabolism doesn't change. So you get big quick.
He's consuming the same amount, isn't he?
He's consuming the same amount.
No, actually, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating way less. I'm sticking to less than 2,000 a day, but still, my body just stores everything it takes like crazy.
Okay, I would have gone with your goldfish memory.
No, I've come to terms with that. Like that is just a memory. This weight is a health concern. So one of these things will kill me. The other one will just put me in danger.
And it could be the memory.
I didn't specify.
Right, one last question for Peroty, and then I think we'll have to wrap it up.
Oh, you see, I need to pick carefully now.
Get him to give you a good answer.
Find your very best one. I'm trying. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to evade you.
Your new nickname is Question Dodger.
Apparently.
Yeah.
And yours would be P-Spot.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay, let's go with a randomly strange one. Do you think dreams have hidden meanings? Why or why not?
This is a terrible question for me because I don't really remember any of my dreams.
Question Dodger.
It's the truth.
Sorry, I had a bit of a cough.
I mean, do they have a hidden meaning? I don't know, because like I wake up and I experience things and I think they happened, and then I realize they couldn't, like, because like they're real enough, but then I realized this couldn't have happened because I didn't see that person. I wasn't in that country. I wasn't in that place. So I go like after the fact, oh, that must have been a dream. So I mean, I've had like weird senses of deja vu before, where like I've been in a particular street in Costa Rica more than once. So I'm guessing I'm not traveling to Costa Rica every night, but I'll have this like weird like recurring memory where I'm on the street in Costa Rica like over and over again in dreams. Does it have is there something behind it? I don't know, but it's definitely weird.
How do you know it's in Costa Rica?
Because I'm pretty sure it's something that's actually happened when we were there with my dad years ago. And like it's almost like replaying like this moment in time over and over again, but just like in dream form.
So, but maybe that's trying to tell you something then.
Maybe it is.
So, speaking of that, I was going to say before the show, but we didn't have time. So, if dreams have meanings, tell me the meaning behind this dream. Last night, as a matter of fact, had a dream that Nitedemon was the Prime Minister of England, and I was the President of America. Everybody shut up. Don't jump ahead of me. Shut up. And we were doing something like revising a treaty between America and England or something like that. We were doing something that was old, and we had to revise every now and again, right? Mm-hmm. So he gives me the key to the city to London, and I give him like land, like physical land, like topsoil on pallets, right? And he goes, "Is this soil?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's American soil as a representation of our treaty." And he goes, "What?" And he says on TV, "What the f- am I supposed to do with soil? What the f- am I supposed to do with the key? It's the key to London. Show me what door it opens up." So, and I have this spat on national TV as two world leaders, you know? So, yeah. And that was last night, and that's all that happened before I woke up.
I can't believe that you dreamt that I'm a Prime Minister and you're the leader of the free world.
I'd make an amazing president. I don't care what you say.
Dreams of grandeur, isn't it?
Oh, my word.
I think it's fun that he dreams of you at night, Nitedemon.
Yeah.
It's very
slightly
sweet.
Disturbing, isn't it?
Well, maybe it's because we played Destiny yesterday and we didn't actually have any conversations.
It's when I left the house.
You were in
Ran it on himself.
Yeah. And you've got the memory of a goldfish, apparently. When I played Destiny yesterday.
Anyway.
It was metaphorical yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't actually do anything. We didn't succeed.
Oh, I know he didn't. I came home and I saw he didn't actually do anything metaphorically or physically. We're still in the same spot, in the same pajamas, with the same bell slippers on.
Hey, to be fair, you don't need to get dressed to do things around the house. Getting dressed is overrated.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. I only put the pajamas on as a courtesy for the kids. They don't want to see it all hanging out.
No one wants to see it all hanging out.
Wow!
No, you don't. I mean, let's be honest. It's not a nice thing to look at, is it? Just hanging around there. You don't want to, like...
I mean, I agree with that. Men don't think penises are attractive, but we at least assumed you guys did.
Not really. Just looks like a dead skinned snake just laying there. Not really.
Just laying there.
It just lays on the floor.
Lays like a draft.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Has he told you about his favourite game he plays when he's got his pajamas on?
No,
oh, God, no, I don't think we want to hear this. There is a limit.
No, it's a good Christmas game, apparently.
It's Destiny 2, obviously.
Yes, you do. You play it every year.
No, I don't.
With your little pajamas to a hole in, what game do you play? Do you want to tell your friends what games you have to play?
I don't want to say.
Tell your friends like we're children.
Yeah. No, seriously. Every year.
No. I said this was the end of the show.
No, I need to tell them about the game we play.
No.
I do.
No, this is the end of the show.
They need to know what sort of person I'm married to.
No, because he's live streaming this.
Okay,
I am live streaming this.
Let's not do that on a live stream then. Let's just say it involves a hole in his pajamas in a certain place. And then his idea of fun, right, is he randomly go, what is showing through the hole? Is it one thing or the other thing? Guess. And I go, no, I don't really want to play. And he goes, no, guess. Which one is it? And I go, I don't know. He goes, no, look carefully. Which one is it? Guess. And Ian,
you have to look carefully?
Yeah, because like
carefully being the key word here?
Well, it's only a little hole. It's only a tiny hole, but you have to guess what skin it is from. Is it from one thing or the other thing? That's his game.
Another thing, it could be.
So I would just like to take this moment to say, Deacon, this invalidates any concern you have ever had about him talking to anybody else outside of your house. I have learned more about your internal life from you than I have in him in the last 4 years.
Things I could tell you about him.
You have shared more than he ever has.
It's because I want you to know what I have to part with.
I absolutely have to come to England one day.
She had a mandate when she came on here. She went, I'm going to tell them all about you. I was like, no, please don't.
No,
this is the same person.
I think people don't appreciate what it's like living with you. I'm like a nervous wreck half the time.
No, you're not.
Because I never know what you're going to do.
He's going to sit and play Destiny. What are you going to do? He's going to sit and play Destiny. If left alone, the man would sit and play Destiny very peacefully.
Well, peaceful, I don't know. If he's playing PvP, it's not so peaceful.
I mean, he's peaceful. Whether the other people are peaceful, that's on them.
Well, he gets irate and upset. And he says naughty words. Oh, yeah. He says naughty words in PvP, young lady.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
Shocking, even.
I need to go and tell him off for that.
Go take him and play a game.
Do you know?
You need a swear jar. You need a Destiny PvP swear jar.
No, just a Destiny jar will be fine. Then every time he plays, he has to put something in it. Like notes, not coins.
Okay.
Notes?
Yeah.
Like dollar bills. Like
£10 notes and £20 notes.
That's an expensive game.
Did he tell you about his little trick on the family the other night?
Nope.
Yeah, Pepsi Max.
No, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. Like this is the sort of thing, right? I come home from work, been a hard day, obviously, popped a rib, in pain, and I'm sitting trying to do work. I'm sitting on my lap trying to do work, right? So he starts getting really hysterical in the kitchen, going, quick, come here, quick, you've got to come in here. Oh my God, you won't believe what's happened. And I'm like, I'm not falling for this. I said, I'm not falling for this. I'm not believing you. So it takes this whole thing goes on for about 40 minutes. We go out in the kitchen. He's got a bowl on the floor, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going, oh my God, I've got a mouse. There's a mouse in the kitchen. I don't know it's come in. Oh God, I've trapped it. Someone go and pick it up. And all the kids are getting really hysterical. 2 of the children by now on the worktop, standing there screaming because they think a mouse is going to come and climb up them. So he's going, someone get a piece of paper. Someone get something to put under this bowl. Right? This just goes on and on. I said, I'm walking away. I said, don't believe this. No, come on, I need your help. Oh, you always walk off and I need your help. So eventually, I get this piece of cardboard. So he puts it under the bowl, and he's like trying to lift the bowl up without the mouse getting out. And all the kids are screaming, and I'm standing behind the door because I thought stupid guts are probably threatening my face or something because they think that'd be funny to throw a live mouse on me. Right? 40 minutes.
That would be funny, but okay.
It wouldn't. 40 minutes in, right? He then goes, I wonder if it's hurt. Turns the bowl over. He's got my computer mouse in a bowl.
I knew where that story was going the moment it started.
No, it wasn't funny.
It's nice. No. It's nice to feel the satisfaction of knowing exactly where that was going.
No, 40 minutes my evening. 40 minutes out of my work.
You gotta admire the dedication.
I had to keep it up to keep her to believe.
If only you kept everything up for 40 minutes to convince me.
No, young lady, you don't do that. You don't do that on the live stream.
40 minutes.
The man is persistent of nothing.
See, that's your personality trait. It's very true.
Oh my god.
Persistence. It wasn't funny. I wasn't laughing though because it was like 10 o'clock at night, and then I had to sit and catch up on an hour of work. Why he fell about laughing.
This is why my important life skills comes to play. Yep. It helps.
Using that mouth.
Yep. If one stops failure, hey, use that life skill.
That's right, man. That's right. Young lady, you don't say something like that about a man on the live stream. That's mean. There are limits.
He knows I don't mean it.
There's literally no response a man can get.
You may know that you don't mean that, but you just told at least 4,000 people that don't know you don't mean it.
I don't mean it. I wouldn't have been with him all this long if it was that
Who
bad.
are these 4,000 people on your live stream? That's what I want to know. Who are you holding back on us?
You could be with him because he's a good father. There's a lot of other reasons women stay with men that have nothing to do with his junk. Look at me. I'm married to a beautiful, actual Brazilian swimsuit model, and I'm hung like a ferret, okay? That has nothing to do with our relationship.
I
need to look up what ferrets' genitals look like.
Yeah.
Are they large?
Honestly, I just made that up. I have no idea. If they're impressive, that's not it. Okay?
Look, this isn't the showers. We don't need to get them all out and show each other. That's enough.
No, absolutely not. No, sir.
No. But you are hot. You are difficult, though. Like when you hid in the dark.
What?
You hid in the dark for like 15 minutes the other night just to jump out on me in the pitch black. And you were making noises, and I come to investigate because I was worried what was happening. And you jumped out at me. You were like, "Rah!" in the dark. Like, who does that? What normal?
I do that. I do that multiple times a day to my family.
Yeah, no, that sounds like...
I actually just wait until my wife pulls into the garage, and I run out the front door, and then go back through the garage before she closes the door, and then sit waiting by the side of her door before she comes out.
Yeah, and my son, I do it so often that now my son challenges me. Whenever I come out and I go, roar, he looks at me and he goes, roar, in his little baby voice. So, yeah, absolutely. I absolutely do that.
There are other children here in the circle.
You know, that sounds like literally every human being I know.
That sounds like every
man.
The opportunity
to scare someone, go for it.
Absolutely. There's no reason not to.
Now, it's really funny because my wife doesn't startle, but I startle super easily. So any jump scare in the movie sends me off the couch, and she just sits and giggles to herself as she sees it coming. And I can see it coming and still jump out of my skin every time.
My wife is the opposite. Like, I'll walk. I'm not even trying to hide. I'm just straight walking to the kitchen, and I'll put something in the sink, and my wife will jump out of her skin. She's like, "I can hate that you walk on your toes." I'm like, what?
I used to work with a guy I would terrify. I used to work at a print shop. Now, I am a 6'5", 340-pound individual at this point. I am not a small human being. I am a giant, NFL lineman walking through this office building. I would walk up behind him and tap him on the shoulder, and he would freak out. He's like, "I didn't hear you coming. I didn't hear you coming at all." I'm like, "Ow."
Well, honestly, I don't think that man was meant to survive.
No, he
was meant to be food.
Yeah.
He would go first in the zombie apocalypse before me. Before anything even happened, he's already a zombie. He's pre-zombified.
Peroty would be walking towards him to be one of the first, and still see him already done.
So is that why people die? You're like, "Oh my God, turn around," and just like, "Dude, turn around." Like, so that's how they actually die. People actually exist that are like that.
Apparently.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just absolutely oblivious to the world around them.
No, I can't hear anything myself, but I tell you what, I will smell a zombie. I mean, we're talking rotting, putrid flesh, dude. That smells way worse than a baby's diaper. I would absolutely know that they're coming.
If they're the rotting, putrid flesh type.
Yeah. We don't know what kind of zombie it is.
Fair play, sir. Fair play.
I mean, technically, those aren't zombies, though. Those are actually just mutated humans.
Yeah. Oh man, I took speaking of wives doing things. I took my wife to the range and I gave her ammo. She shot the rifle until it was too hot for her to hold. I'm like, Luna, I think you may have a problem. She goes, yeah, I like it. I'm like, just put the gun down, back away slowly, and I'll meet you in the van.
And I'll sleep with my eyes open tonight.
With treats.
For real.
Anyway, I think that's the end of the episode for our Christmas show.
Fun.
Good luck and Godspeed on your edit, sir.
Oh gosh.
Now that she's a part of this,
any bets on how many bells and whistles they're going to be hearing, or animal noises?
Ducks, dolphins,
any numbers?
No, the bets are how many minutes over 40 does this episode turn into?
Oh god. Is it was more than 40 minutes? We've been on here for 2 hours.
I know.
Yeah,
but I'm saying there's 40 minutes of lore and there's next week in Destiny. Okay, so how much more than 50 or so minutes does the final product end up? Or has Zep Orbit heard the entire episode and he'll be the only one?
You could do, actually what you could do, you could do a part 1 and a part 2, release one on Christmas, before Christmas, and then one after Christmas.
You can't ask him to do that. Our fans are still asking him to put an LP together, which he hasn't done.
All you do is take the episode and then after you're done with it, chop it in half and release one half and then release the other half.
What, like a record?
Yeah.
Why is that
Why do you want you
complicated?
to put a record together?
Because he keeps doing songs.
I don't know. Your husband keeps making me do songs.
No, you're pretty much a willing participant in most of them, except for the one that we seeded into the Respawn's report roundup that one time.
I mean, honestly, Respawn.
You should get him singing.
No one put a gun to your head, or did
no?
Don't say that anymore. That's got.
You bring in the song pretty readily. So
not intentionally.
There's only one for sure, and I feel like I vaguely remember a second instance where we sort of seeded a song to you, or we just Ron Burgundied you. I don't remember which now.
You did what? A song to him? You seeded a song?
Yeah, they gave me false roundups with keywords in it that they spliced into a song.
I'm sorry, I was just stuck on them seeding you.
I know you are, but try to focus. Keep up.
I'm trying.
We're trying to grow a new one in the lab. We have to start somewhere.
Well, there's definitely one easy way to collect DNA.
Oh my God! Shut up, Micah.
Today's episode brought to you by Pepsi Max, Milk, and the United Kingdom.
So it's pea milk?
I wonder if you do that, though, if you do that.
No. Anyway,
what?
Please. Peroty, in the show, please. Do the thing that you do.
So this is where I say, you're here, I'm here. We are all very deeply either sorry or thankful. We're something for this.
Definitely disturbed.
We've been here. I'm Peroty. I was here. Micah was here. Respawn's here. Nightedemon's here, and Deacon is here, taking some time out of her busy life, running the best raid team around, to come and join us this holiday season to tell us things and to give us questions and to basically be the ringleader of this circus, because we are nothing if not a circus. If you have any feedback at all, basically go to Nightedemon's house and ask for Deacon. That would be the best place to address us. The second best place, 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. We're on Twitter while it exists at 2titans_hunter, and that's the number 2. We're everywhere else: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, 2titansandahunter. You know where to find us by then. This show will be everywhere you find your podcasts, and if this is the first one you find, again, you're welcome, or we're sorry, depending. I mean, if it's we're sorry, then you probably won't enjoy the rest of them. If it's you're welcome, then come back next year for our next holiday thing, because it turns into whatever this is.
We still might have one more this year.
There will also be a YouTube version of this, which again, it will probably have Destiny content over it, or it'll just be like one long static picture of Deacon staring at Nitedemon just for like 2 straight hours.
Judgingly.
So really, I mean, you should follow us on YouTube just for that reason alone. If you would like to listen to this, again, this thing in real time, Respawn does stream it whenever we go live at twitch.tv/no-one-respawns in real life. Usually Saturday mornings, sometimes Wednesday evenings. It just really depends. The holidays come and we do what we do. There's also streaming at twitch.tv/2titans and a hunter. That happens again. If you want to know these things, go there, follow. You'll get little notifications going, hey, they're live. Then you can come watch us and make fun of us live. If for some reason you listen to this and we're like, these people are crazy, they clearly need all the help we can give them, you can go to patreon.com/TTAH, like Sepp Orbit, who has been hanging out with us tonight, because you can't threaten that man with a good time. Our Otter Dance Troupe of the T-Rex King, Dedicated AM64, Star Vortigeur, and the Scarlet KM. Wonderful, phenomenal dancers. You've never seen anything better in your life. We have a pile of grenades thrown by Carver 2782, We Noble, Golden God 1562, and basically Salt. And Deacon is here to grant her approval in person to both PP Pipe and Lord Master Chaos. And PP Pipe, I now immediately regret reading your name in present company. Again, we're very sorry for everyone involved. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with something else. While Bungie is off, we clearly don't know what to do with ourselves, so
definitely not.
We just have to tune in to find out. I regret saying this, but parting thoughts, say goodbye, everyone. Go for it.
I do have parting thoughts. As soon as you said the circus, there's a phrase a coworker has on his cubicle whenever I go to Colorado, right? And it's appropriate, but now after what Deacon talked about, it has a double meaning. The phrase is thus: "You're this monkey, I'm just holding the tail." Right?
I wish it was not my monkey, not my circus.
I think he's calling you a monkey.
And then with the gloves and the pea spot.
What he's saying.
But what I'm really saying is thanks for hanging out. And we'll be here next week at some point in time with some semblance of something. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, there's Demon.
What's me?
Well, you gotta give your 2 cents, your insightful thoughts.
You gotta to him. That's all you're getting at this point.
Micah, anything insightful to give the fans?
Babies cry.
That they
Destiny
do.
must be played.
Destiny must be played, even with a crying baby swaddling on your chest.